Welcome to more episode 69, the funny number this time around.
Definitely
I'm
funny.
here with
Nice.
Leo, Koma, Qbhall.
You should have do something for 67, you know? Damn.
I mean, we kinda did. Kinda. I mean, I got a lot of views on that video. It's like 75, which is a lot for this channel, I guess, but... Oh well, maybe 69 again, who knows? I don't know. Oh well. Got something on the way. New magazine. Well, new. It was like 2000 something like that.
An afternoon issue.
Yes. With Mushi cover and the CD-ROM with Nia art on it. Unopened, by the way.
From this year?
Zen Market. No, it's old.
No. This is from years ago.
I was gonna say because that don't even make any sense. Because
No, this is old.
when's the last time he's
like
done something
4
for
years.
monthly? It's probably been like 10 years.
Yeah, this from 2004. So yeah, no, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
There is
with
some
CD-ROM with
Yokohama
Nia art in it, so.
or something like that.
Probably can fire that up. Well, also bought the CD-ROM opened because I want to have this one closed. But I also bought the magazine just because, well, I can. And plus, if a bidding war would start out, then I was just like, fuck it, I'll lose it. But I didn't have a bidding war, so I just got a whole magazine with Mushishi in it with no bidding war. Like, the fuck. So, yeah. We'll probably plop in that CD-ROM and probably get the files out, or you know what kind of voodoo magic I need to use for like technology from 2004 or so.
So I did for the volume 7 discs, and it was just like PNG calendar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's.
I will say this: the calendar was very cool, and it's funny because the year I did it, it actually lined up like the days perfectly lined up with like the days of the week for that year. It was kind of funny.
Whoa, nice.
I mean, I got that one too without the volume 7, but I don't know. I already have volume 7, so why do I care to get it especially? But you know, that's nice. Other major news: Japan got a big earthquake like a week ago or something.
Yeah, Kamakura. Correct. That area in particular.
I saw a lot of people's
No.
collections got damaged too. Like I saw like photos of Gundams and like just like books and stuff just like completely falling over, just like destroyed.
On Twitter.
Do they have what is that? What is all that? Do they have collectible insurance?
You know what? It's Japan. It would not shock me because some of those gunpla could literally be expensive.
Right, and like a lot of this stuff is there echo by me?
Not really.
Okay, just making sure. 'Cause I'm hearing one, but as long as it's not coming through, that is okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like some of the stuff is one of a kind artwork, right? Like the customized kits that people modify on their own. You know, one of a kind.
I mean, yeah.
You know, they got,
some of that stuff
you know, a
is pretty
couple
expensive to make, but also, you know, housing damage and all kinds of other stuff is a bit more pricey than that. It's just Gundams, after all. For some people, it's like a religion, but you know.
yes, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
How
You know?
dare I?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We shouldn't bother insure, you know, Notre Dame or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Notre Dame or something. I don't know. There's something there. But
Yeah. Wait.
but what was it? Was there like a lot of loss of life? I mean, I hope not. I mean, I hope it's just limited to collection.
I don't know. Let me see if I find Death Toll or something like that.
Because I know they build their stuff
39
to
people were
withstand.
killed and more than 170 were injured. So
Dang, that was
Very
very
nice.
serious then.
yeah, Yeah. I mean, 2011 was a bit worse than that, but still.
Yeah, definitely worse.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Interesting fun fact. 2011 was the reason Persona 5 released like it did. That game got completely rewritten after 2011.
Yeah.
what you mean, like they lost the code, or what? What do you mean? Sorry, I'm not understanding.
So before 2011, Persona 5 was a completely different story, and then 2011 happened, and then it was sort of like a response to Japanese government's like kind of inept ability to like rescue people and other stuff. So then like that was sort of fueled off that, and that's how P5 came out.
Interesting.
That's why the development took like 10 plus years, or I don't think it took 10 years, but it did take, I think it was like 7, 8, something like that. It was long, very long.
Okay. Well, I mean, they might have reused some of the ideas in something else, you know.
I think he went on to reuse a lot of the stuff that he was probably doing for the original game in Metaphor. Like I'm almost positive, because the original game had like this chain motif and like a lot of other stuff, and Metaphor kind of has kind of that vibe going on. So I'm not sure, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't think I ever played I played a fair bit of Persona 3, but I'm more like the I think SMT3 Nocturne is a masterpiece. That is the only one. Yeah,
Nocturne's great. Yeah. Nocturne is great. I can't argue.
That is
the game's great.
I mean, I've been looking. I don't play a lot of. This is weird. Like I do play a lot of JRPGs, but JRPGs are in my list of top 10 games. Like a lot of them, like Chrono Trigger, Nocturne, Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Have you played Xenoblade?
No, I haven't actually. I'm not sure enough to get into.
You're missing out. You've got to play.
I did play Xenoblade, and I think that everybody should play it.
Yeah, see, he knows. You're missing out if you're not playing Xenoblade. All right, it's one of those games everyone should play.
So it would say that is alongside. Say that again?
I like the second disc, by the way. I am one of those people who didn't bother.
Yeah. I think all the games are good, but the second's probably my favorite.
Oh, Xenoblade 2?
Yes, but Xenoblade 3 has a lot of hardcore defenders, and I haven't finished it. It's the only one I actually haven't finished. It's funny because I got to like 2/3 of the game, and then my Switch actually, like, I don't know, it was just like not working well with it. Like it wouldn't boot it, just kept crashing. So now I have a Switch too. I got a plan to go back to it.
Oh, and speaking of Gears, have you all played Xenogears as well?
Oh yeah, that game's cool. Very cool. Very sci-fi.
I haven't played it either. But I mean, I've looked at a lot of video essays and stuff on it. Like even with the video essays, I can't even get the story. I mean, like there's a lot of things that are like Chrono Cross. Like I don't quite understand the story, but I understand like the vibe, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's kind of abstract thing to say.
I thought Xenogears was just as good as something like Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross or any of the most famous. It's up there. It's up there with some of like the best RPGs of all time. It's very, very good. Xenogears it's amazing. It's funny because I think the story might even be a little better than the Xenoblade games, but the Xenoblade games gameplay is just so much better for me that it kind of pushes it a little bit above each other. But yeah, it's a very, very, very good story.
The battles with a lot of these RPGs is kind of a sticking point for me. Like I do kind of rather action RPGs just for the gameplay, but I mean,
it's funny because it looks like probably the most like unintuitive, like unenjoyable gameplay you do, and then you actually play it and you're like, oh, wow, this is actually really fun.
Right, it does look like that.
It looks like it does not look fun to watch. Like I'm not gonna like lie and be like, yeah, it's the funnest game to watch. It's not. It's something more you have to get a feel for yourself, and then see if you really like it. Because I thought I was gonna hate it. Like I bought it kind of on a whim, and I was like, okay, there's no way I was gonna like it. I ended up really liking it.
It looks kind of like an MMO. The MMO have this lack of weight.
It almost does play like an MMO, but it feels like, I don't know why, but it feels good. Because it's funny, because I've never liked MMOs really, so I'm not sure why I like Xenoblade, but it does feel good.
I recently kind of reinstalled some stuff on the Wii here. I was trying to like this drive is dead, but there's a mod you can use to like even if it's modified, this drive still kind of needs to work for some of the mods to work, for some of the backup games to work. You know, it's kind of like a weird thing. So I might try it on the and also you could play it on the Wii U also and use. I think you could use regular controllers.
I've been modding my consoles too, and I really want to get a Wii U at some point because I have a Wii, but it'd be nice to have a Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say the colors for the Wii games when played on Wii U are not as good. I don't know. I'm not sure I don't even have that good of a TV to make it out. You know.
Yep.
Like, yeah, people get. I can understand why, but you know, I don't get too obsessed with it. It has to be the best video output. Yeah, and all these things. You know, what I like is being able to use other controllers. Like, there's a dongle for the GameCube and Wii U that allows you to use other controllers. So you could use like a wireless DS4, DualShock 4 or Xbox controller. It's kind of interesting.
Well, that's probably one of the best things that Nintendo does do is their Bluetooth connectivity is amazing. Like on Xbox and PlayStation, you're pretty much limited to like what works officially. But you know, I was using my AirPods and like some like crappy like off-market controller on my Switch 2 the other day, and I'm like, man, this is kind of great.
Oh well, actually, the dongle, I think it emits its own Bluetooth connection because it's spoofing a GameCube controller.
That's pretty interesting. Does it have like it probably has like a 2.4 gigahertz connection then?
No, because it uses a DS4 or Xbox controller, and those are
oh, okay, so it's just standard Bluetooth. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
site on Mars, by the way.
Yeah. It's,
I saw that.
Game tape. Like basically, YouTube was stuck in 2005. Now short up to 2007. I already uploaded a lot.
You know, I've always wondered does anyone like officially know what was the first like anime OP uploaded to YouTube? Like, does anyone just like have a guess?
Paranoid Agent. That was the first one. It was like
really
2006, I believe. Yeah.
Really?
I would never have guessed that. I think.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, out of all the series, I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, it's the.
I was thinking it was going to be like. Well, I thought it was going to be like FLCL or like one of the other like Funimation ones that were popular at the time.
Oh, speaking of FLCL, before I forget, there was False Memory that was released recently. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Are you talking about the new anime?
Yeah, it's Chinese anime. I guess they have their own thing going on now, but I mean, for lack of a better term, yes. It's I'm glad to see a lot of stuff from over China. You know, like I know there's been like a history of outsourcing, right? From Japan to Korea and probably China too, but they're making a lot of new original anime now.
I watched a really good Chinese anime a couple years ago called Link Click. If you want to watch it, I do recommend it.
Okay, I mean, it's interesting. They seem to release a lot of that stuff for free officially.
Yeah, that's how I found it. It was like completely free, just like randomly on like some website. It was like, oh, okay, and it was actually really good.
Know?
Yeah.
Like I'm glad, and even on YouTube, like all that stuff. Anime included, not just Chinese stuff. There's people just uploading them, and I guess the rights are kind of in limbo, so nobody cares enough to take them down. You know.
Every once in a while, YouTube just be releasing free anime movies and series, so I do keep an eye on that because, you know, I've watched quite a few of just like random things. Like Akira was on there at one point. Ghost in the Shell was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Release them for like a week or two or a few days, and then if you're in the right region, though, then
they always release the Thing too, like probably around Christmas every year. And I always watch that on there too, so it's pretty nice.
Right.
I mean,
Did they say Thing too?
John Carpenter's thing. But no, I don't know if they've ever put the second one on there, whatever that one that came out in like 2007.
2011, yeah.
Or 2011. That's what it was. God, that movie feels old when you watch it. It just feels outdated.
It felt old when it was new.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's how you know it was not a very good movie.
Damn.
Well, I mean, wanted to do practical all the way through the movie, but then it got scrapped on the last moment for CGI because it's cheaper.
Is that why? That's probably why I thought it was older than it was, because it just looks cheaper than it should be, probably because of that.
Yeah. They just wanted to cash quick, but just like the technology was coming along, but not quick enough for them.
The new one looks worse than the old one.
Well,
all right, interesting. Now, is there any surviving footage of the practical stuff that it was starting to make?
I don't know if anything survived from that time. I think some, like law productions, there's still stuff going on, but the older it is, the less it becomes over time, or people are not that interested at the time to buy it or to auction it off, or how big that industry was at the time, or or whatnot.
Kind of a fun question. What was the first anime you guys watched?
Oh, I know what it was, but
it's very difficult to answer, because if we count the anime that we watched when we were kids, before even knowing what an anime is, or the first anime that I watched online.
How about the first you just think you ever saw, and then the first you fully watched?
Maybe Dragon Ball Z, perhaps.
Okay. I think the first series I ever saw was this robot anime called Zoids. It was on late at in America, and I think the first one I ever finished it's probably Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. It's probably Naruto too, though. I don't remember. I think I did finish Dragon Ball Z before Naruto, though. So.
Mine was like an harem anime with some guy going to a mansion which he inherited from his grandfather, and then the whole thing was filled with mates that basically were all around him all the time doing nefarious things.
It's actually really funny. I do have very vague memories of watching Crayon Shin-Chan when they used to come on too, which is funny because my parents thought that was like a cartoon, and I'm like, that is definitely not like the type of cartoon you just let a little kid watch, but whatever.
Or joint projects like Open Star Racers or Shaman King.
Yeah, those were fun little ones I watched too. I got blessed to watch them.
Also Avatar, but lots of people say not anime, etc. But what was mine again?
Wasn't Moomin a big thing as a kid? For you? Moomin.
Moomin? Yeah, we had Moomin.
No, I've never even. I don't think that was on TV here. No.
No, but Mars. I think Mars. Wasn't that a big thing?
In Dutch. Even uploaded the movie on this channel in Dutch. Not the best quality audio, but
really.
Yeah, it was on Dutch, but
that makes sense.
The movie was it's only been on TV, never on DVD, never on VHS. So
that's what I was gonna say. I've never even heard of it. So
I mean, the movie was on DVD and VHS.
I'm gonna have to go watch it and see what it's like. I'm kind of interested.
It's pretty nice animation. I mean, the story. It's a kid's story, so can't be imagining too much of it. But it has some nice animation, nice music, so I'll recommend that. But
they were really just kind of licensing whatever, like in the 80s and 90s, to whatever countries. So it was kind of funny because we have a lot of random shows here that are still stuck in purgatory 20, 30 years later because they sold the rights and didn't think anybody would want them later.
It would just
like Macross is like a big elephant in the room. We probably never get it fully here.
I mean, also a lot of stuff in the 90s was like sold for like the American market, so a lot of stuff like hyper violent, science fiction, etc., etc., etc. So that's why that sold so well. And on OVA when the video really was a thing that they could just put anything on they wanted. So
Did a little curious? Did a lot of shonen anime come on? Like older shonen anime come on for you guys besides like Dragon Ball Z? Because they also played like Inuyasha here,
really, I guess.
Yu Hakusho,
Naruto,
stuff like that.
back in the day.
I guess everybody has like watched anime on TV in a channel where there was like this program where you could watch different anime.
Yep.
Like
we didn't.
Basically, we got like our baptism like with anime like that.
Yeah, they did one thing that they did is they did actually air a lot of experimental shit here. Now it was only for like one run a lot of times because it's experimental stuff. It never really does that great, but they did air a lot of stuff that went on to be cult classics here. So it's pretty interesting looking back that a lot of these series have like dubs that are like 25 plus years old.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is my first online anime that I really knew what anime was or Star
Oh, I've seen that. That's funny.
Yeah. It's stupid as it can be, but I don't know.
I haven't watched it, but
I think the first ever manga I completed was probably Tokyo Ghoul, which is so basic to say, but not to cut you off. Sorry.
But now we're at like episode
when I was
69,
like in my teens, I don't know. Like, do you have? I mean, you used to have MTV.
Yeah. That thing was popular. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, in Italy there was every week in the evening they broadcasted anime on rotation, like 3 episodes each week.
That's cool.
Stuff like Neon Genesis Evangelion or Trigun or Cowboy Bebop or Excel Saga. So
did it have like a catchy name with it? Did they have like a they call it like the anime hour or something like that?
Yeah, the NTV Anime Night in Italy.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up.
Just random shows.
Yeah, so the one here that was MTV did play anime occasionally too. It's funny, I actually kind of forgot that until you said something. But the one that was here that was popular was this one that would come on this channel called Cartoon Network, and then about 9, I think, till 6 in the morning or around there, 9 to 5, I think, it would play nothing but anime. So it would just play anime all night. And so a lot of stuff would air. I think about 4 or 5 stuff would air each night, and then the rest would just be reruns for the rest of the night of the stuff that aired. But it was quite a few shows. It was always about 4 or 5, maybe sometimes 6. So we did get quite a bit of dose. Like the original Gundam aired here for a while. A couple of other shows, but really there was like a few shows that kind of like stuck out and became like really popular here, which is funny because now they're not that popular here, but it's just weird how time changes. Like old otakus probably like them, but I don't see new people talk about it much.
But then after like anime on TV, you if you are old enough, you graduate from that thanks to the internet when you can get access to fan subs basically.
Yep.
So you start watching anime in Japanese with subtitles and get access to all of the good stuff. And back in the day, like 20 years ago, yes, you could watch most of the stuff that came out from Japan, but not everything, and you had to wait. There was no Crunchyroll, there was no Netflix, and anything like that, or they were just starting out. In 2008, there was the first experiment with anime broadcast officially on the internet. And yeah, I mean, I started watching a bunch of anime that way. and I got used to it. Used to watch stuff in Japanese.
Well, it's funny you said that. Like when I was like, I think it's probably around 2010. My friend got me like heavily into Naruto, and like I'm sure you know how long it takes for like dubbing and all that stuff to happen. Like it takes forever. Like especially back in the day, it used to take maybe like a year or two before they dub a season. You know what I mean? It would just take forever. So I remember like trying to like look online, and at that time Xbox had just maybe it was 2011. They had just released an update that let you use the internet browser on a 360. And I remember just like dying. I had to find the next episodes of Naruto. And then like I spent like 2 hours getting it to work on the Xbox, eventually got it to work. And it was one of those things I'm just like, man, like anyone could do this. Like you could just go out and find anime like this. It was kind of just like changed my like, like world a little bit. Like I realized I could just like watch anime on my Xbox anytime.
You had to learn what a torrent is, thanks to
yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I did later, but at the time I literally only had the 360. Like that was it. So I would just like play it in the browser, and it'd go full screen. You could watch the anime perfectly.
I guess.
Nice. You remember what site that was, by the way?
It was probably like Naruto Get. I don't think it exists anymore.
Back in 2007, you could watch a bunch of Naruto on YouTube. For months, people started to upload episodes of Naruto or other anime, and they split the episode in like 3 or 4 parts because back in the day when YouTube was new, you couldn't upload files that were too you had also the restriction of the length of the video, so you couldn't upload an entire episode, even though like a few years later they started to upload those, but in due time they also were like deleted for copyright infringement. So but there were other sites like Mega Video. I don't know if you ever used it or
I used a lot of stuff because before I had a laptop, finding piracy was very hard. Like, so I used like just a lot of websites back then that were like really popular. Like I think I used whatever 9anime was before 9anime. I just used like stuff like that, and it worked on the media player, it was really funny just like playing it across the thingy. But I remember like actually getting a laptop and being able to like download my first anime and been like storing it, and people be like, what? You could just stream it, and it's like, it's probably not gonna be available all the time.
Like I remember when I was watching anime with my PC, which was a very old PC from 2003, and the hardware was incapable of handling even 720p videos in HD, basically HD ready quality. So I had to find a workaround, like installing this codec that was lighter on my system, and therefore with it I could watch it somehow. And a lot of work to do back in the day to watch anime, not as easy as it is now.
I mean, now it's like really like 2 button clicks.
For the most part, even though piracy like on the forefront of the internet is fought quite heavily. Of course, if you know where to look, you can still find anything that you may want to find. Like there is still Nia and other sites where you can get basically Google, I think, that fights off piracy in any way possible. I mean, you can still find websites for streaming, but
for instance, the index.moe, that's literally a collection of sites which they constantly update, so you can just pick a site there and bingo. I've
also been noticing kind of like a stream of people just re-uploading like non-available animes to YouTube again. Like a lot of robot animes have been added to YouTube, Heavy Metal L Game, Zabungle, just like older ones that like only people who would like be in the know would know. But if you look them up on YouTube, all 50 episodes are there.
That's like what I was saying. I don't really right kind of in limbo.
For some stuff, I guess that there are no copyright holders that are invested into protecting that stuff, like maybe obscure anime OAVs that are like to this day only available in VHS or DVD, and they are
some anime that like.
I thought for sure L Game would be removed though because they just released a Blu-ray remastered of it, but it's still on YouTube right now.
I mean, for now, I don't know why it's still there, but I guess
it's probably because it's a like a 35-year-old series from the Gundam creator that it's probably never going to get re-released. It's probably it.
Yes, but I mean, YouTube nowadays, but that has been the case for quite some time. Is very strict when it comes to uploading stuff that is.
You would think, but they have all of Turner Gundam too, which is like an even more famous series on YouTube right now too. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Is it available on Blu-ray or other ways?
The Blu-ray came out 3 or 4 years ago. Now it is out of print, but the Blu-ray is not that old.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that in those cases, unless the copyright holders decide to act, which could happen any day for this stuff. So now you can find those things on YouTube, but tomorrow, who knows?
Looks like someone uploaded all of Zeta Gundam too, which is on Crunchyroll. Yeah, I guess they are just getting bold again on YouTube. I just wanted to see. It's crazy. Yeah, 2 people uploaded all of it. What? I don't know. I guess we're back in the piracy days.
I don't know. I mean,
Crunchyroll's being shit.
Because some of these have been up for 4 years. Like this one guy uploaded this 4 years ago, and it's been on Crunchyroll for probably longer than that.
And Black Lagoon was pulled off Crunchyroll, so you can't watch it legally anymore. So that's sad for that kind of stuff. And obviously, the sub community has been brought off there to do, quick AI stuff, etc., just automated. But like I've seen it with like the new Ghost in the Shell, and it just goes really goddamn fast. They don't give room for you to read it, so you're like, okay, try to follow the story. Great, it's like in 5 seconds already gone. I'm like, the fuck happened? That's like annoying with the kind of shit. But also on a side note with YouTube, you recently had like a notice of the YouTube overlords that I had advanced what you call it? Advanced things I could use on YouTube, like adding an
advanced features,
description or pinning or other stuff, because my history was not good enough, and I need to show my ID or a video of like 5 seconds. That was me, or something like that. Just I can just do some basic stuff on YouTube. Because every time I try to add now a link that I can't edit anymore, or pin somebody, or like add other stuff to it, so that was pretty annoying. Now I've added my give my ID to them, and how can I join again? But what the fuck do they mean with like, oh no, my history is not good enough? I mean, every time they said like, oh no, this video has copyright material, you need to short it and you need to remove it. Okay, removed. Okay, it's great. And all the stuff other times was like a video that was like copyrighted for certain countries, like the movie. And then it was, oh, there's no further action for your channel, but it's gonna be copyright and not being shown in these specific countries. I'm like, alright, that's fine. So it's been every time it's been green at my end. So why the fuck do they think like my history is bad? I mean, I only do podcasts for like 2 hours with people talking and some videos. Like
Look,
what I'm doing, selling guns, showing hardcore.
It's fairly because you're associated with all kinds of people from bizarre countries like Trinidad. Nobody even heard about our country, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
You need to cut these people out.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just weird that YouTube do this stuff sometimes just to fuck people over for having a normal channel with nothing.
I tell you, I don't know that it's too low to get ghost. She's haunting this town. You need to exorcise it. Is there any kind of witch doctors in your country? Is there any kind of like witch doctor or voodoo people in your country, something like that?
No, we're more like down to earth. Think more with logic than voodoo.
Listen,
stuff.
Think about it. You're trying to use logic against this thing that you just said made no sense.
I mean, AI doesn't make sense, so I don't know if AI deals with
the AI is a demon. I need to exercise it. Listen, Think about it.
exercise AI, it would be great. Just to fucking
Just hang like a rosary around the laptop or whatever, you know, just drape it around it, you know. Get like a priest to sprinkle some droplets on it, holy water or something. Some kind of fluid.
The whole
Look.
ritual, and then the thing just fucking shakes, and just the spirit you see it leave. And it would be funny.
Yeah, look, OS stands for operating spirit. That is just, it's just what you have to deal with now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's welcome to YouTube. It just fucks you over. Maybe we need to move to tape cam or something like that. You can watch in 480p or something the videos if the site not shits itself, thanks to like last month a big YouTuber mentioned it, and now a lot of people came over. But then the projects didn't like that last longer, so that's better than nothing, I guess.
Any future animes you guys are looking forward to?
Yeah, Ghost in Shell right now. Then I have like more. Let me see. What?
Yeah, I do want to watch this false memory thing. It looks interesting. It's, I mean, you could pull up the trailer, man. A trailer won't get you in trouble, right?
What?
Playing a trailer on this stream won't get you in trouble, right?
Are fine. That's public stuff. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, check out False Memory. False Memory trailer. It's crazy.
False Memory. Okay.
Yeah, these Chinese people cooking, you know. I don't know what, but something. As the young people say. And the one of the first anime that well, I didn't know it was anime at the time, was Samurai Pizza Cat. Is a very
it was
strange.
Recently re-released on Blu-ray. I heard.
Right, so like you guys were talking about they didn't know how to market this stuff. You know, they just kind of had no idea because it was such an untapped market, an unknown market. We don't know who this is for. So I think that they just were giving out rights for like $10 or something, and it was like, look, just take this third world country, you know. And yeah, a lot of people like this. It was very strange.
Was re-releasing and stuff. Also, Monster all episodes. What more? And fuck, now I need to look that up. Discotheque new releases. Disco.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this thing looks crazy.
I'm honestly pretty excited for the History anime.
That one.
Yeah, it's been
creator.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, especially after we got that beautiful Parasite anime a few years back. So I'm willing to give them a chance, see if they can do just as good.
Yeah, no, that was by another one. Had a different.
What's the premise of this anime you're talking about? This Historia, you said?
Yeah, his story. It's about Alexander the Great. It's sort of like I would put it more like something like Kingdom, maybe than like something like Parasite. It's more of a long, like spanning tale.
So it doesn't have any supernatural elements or sci-fi.
No, it's more of a like down to earth, grounded historical tale.
Interesting. It's always interesting when we create, you know, like I have this guy known for sci-fi doing something totally grounded.
Yeah, it's I do like when a lot of creators like kind of step out of their comfort zone and sort of like just do something different, because like why not? It's always interesting. How are you guys feeling? I mean, are you guys going to watch the new Oshi anime, the Votoms?
Yeah, Votoms.
Have you guys seen the original Votoms? Any of you?
No,
I have.
I know what it is.
OVA.
Kind of about.
Mellow Link.
Oh,
No.
You watched Armor Hunter Mellow Link? That's hilarious, actually. But yeah, if you guys do have any interest in checking it, I do recommend Votoms. It's older, but it definitely holds up. It's really, it's not like one of those older animes that sort of kind of pads itself with just like monsters of the week. It's more of a concise story. Kind of gets to the end, and it has like very distinct like 4 arcs. It's pretty interesting, especially for like how old it is. I think it came out in like 83, 84ish, which that structure of like storytelling in anime wasn't super common at the time, which is funny when you think about it, because now it's just like the norm. But it's interesting seeing kind of like an early version of it. I do recommend it. I'm just interested to see what Oshii can do now that he's back in the saddle.
I mean,
I know,
it's
like
been a while since he was like doing stuff in anime. Or
he's been doing I think live action stuff for a while now.
But from what I understand, he a lot of his stuff is kind of very different from the source material, right? Like
yes.
Okay.
But Votoms isn't really based on anything, so.
Just his own thing, basically.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know who Ryosuke Takahashi is, but he's the creator of Dogram, Blue Gender, Votoms, and Gasaraki. So he's made all of those, or not all of those, but he's not by himself, obviously, with help of other people, but he's the director of those. So he's kind of a bit famous. He's made some of the most famous things. So Votoms is sort of just his brainchild, and now Oshii is sort of just going to play around with it for a while.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I've watched. Like I say, I think Ghost in the Shell is probably in the top 10 most rewatched things of mine, and I mean, he definitely has a lot of skill. I mean, that to do that at that time, to make one work that is so influential in so many things, you have to. I mean, I don't like everything that he's made, but there's something to be said for that. I mean, the legend is supposedly that the Matrix guys went in and showed that to some big time producer, and they said, "Look, we want to do this for you," Supposedly, I don't know. That's part of the law. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, so you think he's gonna be?
I think it depends on how Oshii wants to play it. Like, something like Votoms is a lot more space opera than anything he's ever really like worked with outside of like his early series, like Gallows. Like, Oshii has kind of, he does sci-fi, but he tends to stick more to grounded elements, at least, as grounded as he can be with his concepts. But it'll be interesting. Votoms is a real mecha series, but it's also, at its heart, it's more of a spacefaring series. So I'm interested to see what he does. Like, if he Oshii's never really played around with space heavily. I don't know if it interested him as a concept as much as other creators. Like, I think that's what makes, some of the original like Gundam series, not just Gundam, but a lot of the original Sunrise series so good, is a lot of those people like wanted to be astronauts if they could, and they just couldn't, so
right.
It's one of those things.
Well, I will say, that is like that is a theme that I think is really interesting. I mean, the truly the final frontier. I mean,
I think especially in the 1970s when the space race is going hot and all this is happening, and you can literally watch like, just all this sort of like technology and advancements and all this sort of stuff. It probably did feel like it was just like the inevitable next frontier of humanity. Especially because a lot of these series are, they're pushing 50 years old now at this point, which is pretty crazy to think about.
I wonder if anybody's ever made like a flat Earth anime. That is untapped.
I think the original. I don't think he made one, but the original creator of Lane, the screenwriter, not the director, but the screenwriter for Lane and Technolize, he pretty sure he said that the Earth is flat. Yeah.
Nice. You know what?
I think he went on some rant about it. I think he later took back his statements. I'll have to double check. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I do know he had like a very controversial moment. I know.
You know, I like
it was related to that, and then like he brought like some Digimon characters out on the thingy, and he was just like, "This is cancel culture," and then had him like get beat up or something like that. I can't remember. People were very mad on Twitter, though. I do know that.
Why are they mad at one guy just saying that? You know, that's funny. He's not saying you gotta believe it. I like that. You know, and you know what? A guy writing that stuff, that is exactly what he probably should believe. You know what? Good.
I mean,
hey, look, I haven't been in space. I don't know.
Interesting, sure.
Nice, interesting. Now I'm pretty sure in the lane they mentioned satellites at least once, right? They have to have done, connected with the internet and stuff.
It does look like the flat Earth stuff was a rumor started by somebody, so I didn't want to put it in a thing. But the Digimon stuff was absolutely real with the cancel culture and all that stuff. That was not fake. That was real.
What if Digimon done with cancel culture tomorrow?
So I don't know.
You know what? We started that rumor right here. The creator of Blade is a flat earther, and I stand by him.
So yeah, there was an original character named Political Correctness, which attacked, which used a move called cancel culture. That's what it was, and then it was like a big deal. That's right.
It's interesting though that
he's really into UFO conspiracies though, and other thingies. That's what I couldn't think of. He's like super into aliens. Like he thinks we type it being like.
I will say this: that alien scene in Lane is one of the freakiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably one of the. I don't like. I've always kind of wanted to parse that scene, but I've always wondered if that's just like him being like, "Hey, I'm gonna freak you guys out with something that I probably think of occasionally."
I mean, look, like I have to consciously not think of that. You know, when things are dark and creepy and things, it's like just imagine, just the head is human, but just his hand. You know what? The guy who directed Signs, Shaman, probably saw it and was like, you know what? There's something to this. It's like a creepy hand.
The mech designs in Votoms is very interesting because they're only about, I think, like 3 or 4 meters, which, I mean, you guys know meters better than I do. That's not very tall in terms of like mech size.
No, they're like
definitely not.
Just mass-produced mechs, basically.
Yeah, and they're like everyone in that series basically treated as like disposable. They're literally the name is sort of a joke. It's technically Votoms, like they're bottoms, you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a joke, which is funny because, he's Japanese, but I guess, he must have had good enough parse of English to know like how to do that type of joke.
Funny.
You know what? I think a lot of people from Japan are kind of like that.
Well,
like they just like, they like a word and they latch onto it and they name stuff after it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the original Gundam creator does that a lot. He has a lot of very, very funny names that are just like Scarlet On and just like weird, like just very generic, almost sounding names like John Jacob Smith. Like there was one like that. Just like I think he just like latches on to names that he thinks are like kind of funny.
Yeah, like think about things that even like mentioned in popular culture. Like Metal Gear, and then there's Metal Gear Solid. Like, think of how crazy this is. What does this even mean?
Yeah, then there's there's Liquid Snake. There's Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, and then there's Solidus Snake. Yeah,
look, just don't think about it too much. We just thought it sounded cool. This is like how people from the West get like a random Asian symbol printed on them. And it's like water or something like that.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost like reverse Orientalism in a way. Like they're just like, you know what, this looks really fucking cool in English. Let me just take this.
Yeah, it's like the art book for Bitch's Life, for instance, but that's like an apostrophe buff with the S. So
Yeah, no.
Because you don't spell.
It's funny. I do see that a lot here. A lot of European languages are just like co-opted and like slightly changed to be like an American logo here. Just like take someone's like family crest and slightly change it and be like, yep, that's a company here.
Yeah, don't look too closely though. You might uncover some kind of conspiracy. That seems like the kind of thing they'll just hide something, Oh, what does this symbol really mean? And next thing you know, you kidnapped by some people in like a black van. I think they're just like
Yeah, I'm like drinking the root beer, and I'm like, what is this root beer symbol being? And then the next thing I know, the root beer cartel is literally throwing me in the back of a van.
Nice.
You asked.
Yeah, you know what? I do like that guy is a conspiracy theorist, though. I think a lot of them are.
Well, it makes me interested because, like, it's, you know, I'm not saying I even agree with a lot of his ideas. I really don't. But, like, it's just interesting seeing a creator who's just, like, so outspoken and just, like, so out there with his, like, ideas. Like, and they're not normally, like, aggressive, weird ideas like other people's usually.
All those animes are, like, intertwined with, like, theories and what ifs and
yeah, you know. It's funny because I've argued with people about the ending of Technolize. What did you guys really think it was about? I guess it's a
I haven't watched it. I need to be at 100% mental strength to watch that. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, then we can save it for another time then. But
yeah,
let me know what you think of the ending when you do get to it, because it's
even the beginning, you know, even the beginning is like, how much this is depression, the anime, and like I do like, I like but dislike body horror, you know, because it affects me a lot, you know. It's like,
yeah, I will say the body horror in the first episode is super effective. I don't know, I think it's because of the way it's the way it's animated and the way it was like storyboarded. It looks so visceral. Yeah. It's very, like, it almost reminds me of some of the scenes from like Perfect Blue, like, because it's just like so very like unsettling and very visceral, almost out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and then it kind of just
with a lower budget, obviously.
Yeah, a much lower budget, lower budget.
But I mean, you know, that
kind of gives you that same feeling, though.
You see, with the lower budget, though, you need to do it really good, to do it with as few frames as possible, if that makes sense. You know, we need to.
Yeah.
We have like 3 shots. You know, we need to. They really frame it. And you know, I was even that disturbed with Perfect Blue as compared to that. You know what else did that? Elfin Lied. There's a lot of gross stuff that happens to people. It was more disturbing than I thought. Like, you know, that particular things I don't like. I like violence in general in shows, but like a lot of anime, like a guy's hand gets cut off, and we don't focus on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people don't even seem to think about it. Like, remember in just this guy's like arm and foot gets severed, and he like hops off under his foot. You know, it's like this is a temporary setback of flesh food, but I mean, in Technolize and some of these other things, they focus on it. You know, we see the effects and the ongoing effects of this debilitation.
It's basically just real life, real society just eating itself up. But then, you know, there's a lot of symbolism in the show, and it gets more depressing the more and longer you watch it. But you know, for blame fans.
And I mean, aren't we like right up on this almost? Like, there's people that might live forever who are alive right now, and there's people who they're growing up. One guy says he's growing a clone of himself to replace parts.
Exactly.
You know, what is the ethics of that? I don't know. Is it a brainless clone? No, it has to be. You know what? Just because he's like a billionaire, and I assume is, you know, like a dystopian thing. The clone, for it to work properly, the clone has to be fully conscious all the time, even as you're hacking into pieces. You know, he has to be a fully formed person.
Yeah. But anyway, when we're at episode 69, so what are your more favorite sexual anime, or like edgy anime, you would say?
You know, I haven't finished it yet, but it's very hypersexual in its own right. I gotta look up the name. It's made by the Gundam creator, who's known for having stuff be pretty sexual in general. But Brain Powered. That series is very, very like overtly sexual. I mean, the OP is literally all the characters like flying around naked. So
I haven't watched that one yet.
It's Brain Powered. It's spelled weird. Yeah, Powered.
Okay. Brain problem. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you might want to be careful because, like I said, the little main thingy is very, very risky. The opening is literally just them naked, but it's weird too because it's not like an adult MMA in like a sense of like sex or anything like that. It's more like insanity. Kind of hard to explain. You would have to watch. You would have to watch it. The mechs designs are immaculate. That's probably what's keeping me so invested. Literally some.
What era was this?
Brain powered. It's made by the Gundam creator.
Oh no, I mean like what year? 1998.
So funny enough, this came out a little bit after Evangelion, maybe like a year or two, maybe like 1996, 1997, or 1998. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. It was sort of a people argue it's not a response to Evangelion. You can make of that what it is. It's very close to what Evangelion does at times, but then also not. So I don't know. I definitely think he was definitely a little miffed at Evangelion, but probably not like he did. It's probably not all 100% just because of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Evangelion was such a.
It was such a smash hit that it kind of pissed off a lot of people in the industry. Yeah.
So like, even if he was like, what is the timeline looking like? When did Evangelion end? Like 96?
So it came out. The show came out in 1995. It's funny. So 95. It comes out, and they sold the rights to ADV Vision for like nothing when it was airing. And so I think ADV sometime in like 1996, or they immediately start printing the VHSs here in America. And then about halfway through, I think the show becomes a pretty big hit. And they only were slotted for so much times, which a lot of people don't forget. And Anno was like notoriously rewriting the scripts in the background because he's a weirdo and a perfectionist. So he kept rewriting them. And so it kind of all ended up with Evangelion ending how it did. And then I think about a year later, 2 years later, when did Death True come out? I think that came out in 1996. I can't remember, but a year later they released that, and it was sort of like a snippet. At that time, I don't think they like knew for sure, like anyone knew for sure that end of Evangelion was coming or like when. And so I think that was kind of like a preview for it. And then, End of Evangelion came out in 1997.
Yeah, year later. Huh.
So this guy, there wasn't any overlap with the original series, but there would have been some with the end of Evangelion.
Yeah, it would have been. He probably would have written it probably right after the time Evangelion had wrapped up.
Right.
Because he wasn't. It's not like this is something he had planned years in advance. As much as people try to act like it is, it does take a lot from his older series, but it's definitely something that was sort of just thrown on the whim. But I would say that was probably one of the most sexual series I've ever watched, especially from him. It's not like he's a shy away from it. He Victory Gundam is also very sexual at times too, very heavily. But probably is definitely one of the most ones I've ever watched that isn't like has anything to do with that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think mine is probably Golden Boy. Yeah, it's probably Golden Boy because
Golden Boy. Yeah, I was gonna say that's another.
As an aside, I think this has some of the best animation that I've ever seen in anything almost. I mean, like mechanical design. Look, that guy riding his bike, the drawing this freaking bike.
Study.
If you like this type of style, I heavily recommend checking out what's it called? 08th MS Team. I personally didn't really like it that much, but the animation for it is absolutely insane, and it's very similar to this.
Okay, you could send it in the Discord. Like, the Discord might be.
Yeah, I'll drop it in there. You should definitely check it out if you like mechanical designs like this, because I'm telling you, it's very hyper detailed. But it's more of like a serious anime, not super serious, but it is. Yeah,
I like how. I shouldn't be getting distracted by the animation. I'm supposed to be talking about the fan service, but it's just.
To Love Ru is funny. That show was so popular when I was a teenager. I've seen most of it. Most of my friends have seen it. It was just so popular when I was a teenager.
Man, there's like so many thousands of shows that you can't even make a dent. You're talking about stuff I've never even seen anything about this. You know?
Another one. It was like kind of like Rent a Girlfriend before Rent a Girlfriend. Date Alive.
Oh, Day Alive. I watched
Date
it.
Alive.
We all watched that. Yes.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
so shit.
It's so terrible. Just awful.
I mean, I watched like I don't know, 1 or 2 episodes or something like that, but I'm like, I just couldn't.
I mean,
I watched the first 3 seasons.
Speaking of sexualized sexual series, I mean, anything that is like ecchi would do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Which one is that?
There is no shortage of series that fit that bill.
You know, another one that I guess people don't see as sexual as it probably is, Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Edge Runners. I mean, yeah, sure.
Hey, look, we need people to come. We need people
I think
to watch.
It's one of the only like mainstream anime I've seen that actually had like actual nudity in it, like the past like 5 or 6 years. Which kind of shocked me because like not to say it was like, oh my god, clutching my pearls, but more like I hadn't seen a major popular anime with nudity in so long. I was just like shocked it did happen.
And nowadays they remove nipples of like.
That's what I mean. Like, so I normally like that stuff is kept more to like the late at night like ONA stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I'm like, I don't know. It's just funny to me. Like Door, for instance, right? Gore, heads leaped off, fuckers gang turned inside out, but nipples, no, can't be doing that. I'm like, it's weird nonsense.
Look, you need to think of the children, okay?
The children. Fuck the children. Fuck
Go easy.
I don't know. It's like it's just stupid with that, and plus they really pushed with like ecchi anime nowadays because they literally have sex nowadays in some anime, but they just don't call it hentai because they leave out the genitals. So you can just put it on TV, but they're still fucking on television. So yeah, we reached the premises with that. You can't go any further. If you go further, you would just show the genitalia, and it would be considered hentai. So I'm like,
after the success of Game of Thrones and this kind of thing, and HBO, everybody needs to catch up, including anime. You know, wait, has HBO ever commissioned any anime?
I mean, and then I also have a guide, but I've talked about that lots of times. So, like, that's just, you know, look at the action scenes, look at the whole okay. God damn it. You know,
Kite is one of those anime that a lot of people swear by, but I watched it and it was like probably just one of the most like mid things I've watched. It wasn't bad. It just, I don't know. It was just like unenjoyable.
A lot of the
animation's really good, but I just found it kind of boring.
But I'm like, did you watch it like the old versions, like the 720p, like everything being, you know, what you would find the 720p anime, like nothing has been fixed, the colors have not been fixed, the whole picture.
I have watched it. It's a pretty anime. I just like, I don't know. I watched it in good quality. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people really liked its plot. I just like think it's.
How did you watch it in Japanese or in English, the dub?
I always watch stuff in Japanese first, usually. Like unless it's like something that has like really classic voice actors in English, then I will. But basically, almost everything I've watched is in Japanese.
First time I watched something related to this anime was with a trailer that was in Italian. So
really?
I let you imagine how it was.
But like with this...
Have you guys heard of Cyber City Odello? No, I really like that one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, or what is it? Odio? Yeah, I think I almost said Odello, but I think it's Odio.
Oh, no, I know what you... 808? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I think I'm getting the name wrong, but I do like it.
City Odio.
And the animation is, I mean, like, that is like the height of the... the OAV, Yeah, this is a lot of money being spent here.
Yeah, that was a really fun watch. Like, it wasn't like
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like,
true,
oh, it's a
true,
masterpiece, but it's a really fun watch, and it's really short and concise, and it has a lot of action and great animation. So
true. I
And the
mean,
backgrounds, I mean, like,
I do think the first one was. I think the first episode was probably my favorite, which kind of sucked because the other episodes weren't bad, but I do think I liked the first one the best out
I
of
mean,
all
there
of
were
them.
a lot
So
of people talking about episode 3 being really slow and not that great, but I don't know. I like the art direction.
no, I was to say I thought episodes 1 and 3 were my favorite, and I thought 2 was probably one of my least favorite.
I mean, I don't know. It's just really, it's the peak of the time. Really, it's just
Yeah.
really nice art.
A lot of those, it's funny because a lot of those series are responsible for getting me further into mechs because really I wouldn't have tried out older mech series if I hadn't really peeped some of these 90s and 80s OVAs with these insane animation with all these detailed mechanics, and it makes you just kind of want to watch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something to hand-drawn mechanical things that
there's something special about it. Yeah.
Or Angel Cup was also very detailed.
No, yeah,
in it.
yeah. That one's also beautiful.
That was great. Or what was the other one called?
Bubblegum Crisis.
Oh yeah, that one's beautiful. Bubblegum Crisis.
The OV series. I watched the first 2 episodes, but I never actually finished the whole thing. I should do it.
That was pretty.
Have you guys heard of Venus Wars?
Yeah, that is another high point. It's the drawings are so complicated in some of the scenes, like the UFOs and all this mechanical.
Yeah.
It's just the vehicles. There's these uniracers on them, unicycle type things, just one wheel.
Yeah. There's that. So that movie it's a bit jarring at times, the pacing or whatever, but the animation, the mechanical design is literally top notch. It's up there with Akira for how good it looks. I think it came out maybe a year before, the same time. It came out very close to it.
And another one that I don't hear people talk about a lot is Honiamis. Wings of Honiamis. That was done by Gainax before.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, that one. Yeah. That was more for the animation than.
Right. I like the story too. I mean, there's a.
Where's the other one?
A fictional Earth-like planet, footstep in the space. And I'm I don't understand a lot of political stuff, but basically they're only funding it to get people to invade, but it's definitely a high point of animation at that time. I mean, it didn't. I think it was famously unprofitable, but still, you could really tell it was made by people that was kind of obsessed with making something, making a mark.
I think that's probably why a lot of new sci-fi series don't hit as hard as I don't think a lot of the people who be working on them are as interested in sci-fi as they were which makes sense. The market, I was gonna say the market's shifted more towards fantasy right now, which you're absolutely right. It's definitely more fantasy skewed right now.
Yeah, but even Isekai is being going on the downhill nowadays because it doesn't really sell not that anymore. So they want to focus on some other fantasy series, which is good, kid. Then you get more different.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Isekai is finally dropping off because that was 10 years of torture for me because I'm just not really interested in the concept.
Yeah,
a lot of those.
No, they had to make another dark one
basically it's just copy and paste majority of the
time. You guys seen Now and Then Here and There?
I know, but I haven't seen it.
No, I've never seen it.
It's depressing, I know that, but
but that's a masterpiece. That is there's a lot of these anime that is where you could do a lot of things with animation and a second generally on screen doesn't cause that that much more than any other thing. You know, like you could do anything. Well, within limits, but you know what I mean. I think Kaiba is a good example of how strange it could be.
Kaiba is also like USS more interesting shows. Same with the Galaxy.
But look at how simple the drawings are. You know, like deceptively simple. In both this and Kaiba.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't. And I mean, it makes the horror hit that much harder. I think. You know, it's like, yeah, he made an abyss. You know, look at it.
Like Jolly, fine, etc. But it just goes in the most.
Well, have any of you guys gotten to see Sonny Boy yet? Because the animation on that is very crazy.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much stuff I gotta see. It's like,
yeah, Sonny Boy's like out of all the recent anime I've seen, probably of the last 10 years, like new shows, it's probably the best, like easily.
Or Mind Game.
What's the premise? It's totally grounded.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Sonny Boy. We should watch it. The animation for it's just insane. It's pretty much like one.
But I mean, there's nothing supernatural about it.
Oh no, it's definitely more of a supernaturally kind of show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it throws a lot of people off because like they go in expecting more of like a traditional school anime, and it's nothing like that. It's more like something like esoteric almost, or more like Evangelion. It's more like introspective.
What?
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not really like
another Eva show. My God.
Yeah, it's Sonny Boy's definitely closer to Evangelion than it is like another school anime. It's very, very weird. It's a very weird show. You would have to watch it to like really.
I mean, like the backstory of Evangelion, the stuff that I don't talk about, like that stuff is really interesting. I feel like they should make stuff that has that kind of huge world spanning or world spanning, universe spanning ideas. You know, I mean, just the idea of like what other worlds could an egg have landed on, and what would it have made? You know, like just what could these creatures have been? And I think the fact that they got the guy to do, you know, he's supposed to be doing another Evangelion series, right?
So that's Yoko Taro. I think he's gonna be the writer, and then the guy who did he direct? I know he directed the Qbhall anime recently, but he also directed, I think, FLCL too. Or don't quote me on that. But he's going to be the director. So the original, like, Anno has nothing to do with it. Like the original Evangelion guy has nothing to do with it.
But I'll say this. I mean, I played Automata, and I think like based on some of the ideas.
Yeah. I think if anyone can do it, it's Yoko Taro. Like he is kind of brilliant. I'm not gonna lie.
Like how much stranger could it get? Now you see, this is why I think that. Well, I hope. I don't think it will happen though. But I think of all the things that they could do. They could have a story about the ancestral race or whatever it was. You know.
I'm most interested to see if Yoko Taro would just do like a completely like new concept, like still take the Eva and maybe just like change every single character in it, and or like his, you know, he's done so much with time loops and then like, you know, like alternate worlds, like with, you know, the first Nier game, that I've almost wondered that if like he just wants to make like a complete different world that like Eva almost like, so, you know, I guess this is spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen 3.1. You're finally getting spoiled. But at the end of the movie, it's revealed that they've been in a time loop basically since the end of Evangelion. So I don't know if he's gonna want to do that exact same thing. I wonder if he's gonna do more like his own original series with like kind of similar toys, like, you know what I mean, like bring the Eva over and some other stuff, maybe even some characters, but leave the rest, you know, new.
Ava's never really gonna die. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, a new show is in the works. And I'm like, where are they gonna go with it now? I'm like,
listen, we could follow one of the eggs on another world. You know, what does it make?
Sure.
That, you know, that's actually not even a bad idea. Out of all the ideas that have been pitched so far, that's probably one of the better ones.
But I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of that of that story. I'm like, after the movies, you get.
I think Anno is too. So from the way he's been talking in interviews, he said that he wants someone to do an original Evangelion story, sort of like Gundam, that doesn't have anything to do with his. And I think this is, if you're going to hire anyone to do it, I think Yoko Taro is a pretty good guy to break away from it. You know what I mean? Like, if Yoko Taro can bring his A game, which I genuinely think he will, because he is obsessed with Evangelion, like, I think he could make something truly special. Like,
okay, what about this? What if it's set in a far-flung future where Earth is dead and everybody on like a colony ship, and the colony ship is somehow powered by Evas now, and they're trying to seek the ancestral rings.
I almost wondered if Yoko Taro would do like Eva in space. I was actually thinking about that, because a lot of Anno's comments were about like, oh, how he wanted it to be like Gundam, and to be like Gundam, you have to be a space opera. You know what I mean? Like, so right. I don't know if he was being like literal, because sometimes Anno is very literal with what he says, like more so not like being metaphorical. He's like actually saying like, no, I literally want it to be like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I do think it could be something special. At the same time, I think it could be complete fucking dud. Like, I think it could be just another series that just passes us by.
I mean, look, it's like if you're taking a swing like that, it could only be a home run or a miss.
Yep.
Something like that. The Sakamoto guy that does these original drawings, this guy is just so crazy. Like, just on a side, like, this guy has to be one of the best drawers.
Oh, Sadamoto? Are you talking about the artist from Evangelion? Yeah. He is legendary. I read, so I'm not like a huge fan of the story of the Evangelion manga. It's good. It's not nearly as good as the series or the movies. His art is amazing, though. It's immaculate. Like, almost every page is just beautifully soaked in detail. Like, he is a master at his craft. And fun fact, he actually designed a lot of like really famous characters. I think he designed all the characters for Welcome to NHK too.
I think he did Honiamis too.
Looks like it.
The Wings of Honiamis, I think he's been with them for so long.
Yeah, look at his panels. That's what I mean. His detail is just, he really does lock in. Like, and there's just so many like absolutely astounding panels. Like the first panel of Eva, whatever, like the Eva coming out of the storm or whatever, like after it blows up the angel in the first episode, just looks so amazing. Like, just absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, this guy is just.
Yeah, his art hit fucking whatever, like Pinterest girl Twitter like crack. Like a couple years ago, I was seeing those eyes everywhere, like the rotting eye thingy and the other thing. I was seeing that everywhere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like it's also interesting he was able to design, like, look at how many iconic, each one of these characters has an iconic look.
Yeah, I think what makes his design so iconic is that like each character kind of has like the same face, but they also feel so different from each other. I don't know how he does it. Like, he is kind of a master at like mastering. He almost has like the Nihei thing where he kind of has the same faces, but they all look very different. Like, I don't know. He's like kind of a master at the same face thing, I guess.
His best piece with Evangelion.
Yeah, no, people repost that Nihei thing now like once a week now. I don't know if you've noticed that, by the way. Like
my sub, but I do see it.
I see it like literally like almost every once a week now. Like when I turn on my Twitter, I just see some like small manga. Yeah, so I see some like small like manga channels trying to get it. They just be like posting like Nihei or whatever, and they be posting. They always post that.
Of Abra, Biomaker, or something like that. It's over and over. Same on Facebook. There's a whole group that just posts like covers and low res or art pieces over and over. I'm like, can you not post anything else than that?
Check out the painting on this skirt here. I mean, that's just so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave painting in real life, which is way brighter than it is on paper, but you know.
Check out Sadamoto's art for Honiamis, Wings of Honiamis. Like, you'll see, you can see the Eva in it, but he does some different looking faces. You know, and there was a line in Eva in I think it was in a few of them, like where they said that the Evangelion will live forever in space, like something like that.
Oh yeah, Wings.
Actually,
Yeah,
Wings
this
of
is
Mine is actually just Royal Space Force, but at
yeah.
that time, like a lot of shows wanted to have some extra title to it, so they just Wings of Hermione's do it, but that's like
It's funny. This is like one of the most like important animes of the '90s or whatever '80s, I think. I saw a lot of people talking about this like a lot. I've watched like the first half of it. I've never finished it. Actually, funny enough, I
oh,
need
I
to get
did.
back to it.
It's like
Yeah,
you gotta watch it for
I
the
know a
content.
lot of the original like Gynax people worked on it though. Like I think Ano himself worked on this.
yeah,
He
and
worked on the animations. The animations were the first things that were
Sakamoto did
made
some of the
for
key
it, and
art
then
for
the
it
plot
too.
was made around it.
Yeah, so I think it's funny because I think a lot of people call this like not like in Evangelion, but like sort of like the dream team got together here, like the beginning of it, like
animation-wise,
like the seeds got planted here.
Yeah,
Because
but
I think that's
characters
where
never
everyone
really
sort of
worked
met each
out
other.
at all.
Imagine what it would take for some fans to get together to make a show back then. As
Yeah,
compared to
no.
now.
It's
That is
crazy when
just-
you think about it, because like back then they could just walk in and get access to like some of the most famous people of all time.
Yeah, I mean, and the main guy is just an would-be rapist, but then he redeems himself, etc.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's kind of why I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. Like, it
Look,
wasn't.
This
It's
is
enjoyable.
this
I
is
get
the
why people
proto
like it.
Shinji.
Yeah,
This is
I mean, I don't know. He was just like an empty shell, basically. I mean, it doesn't go through with it, but and it
Good
gets some
animation and
cool
all,
sequences at the end.
but I didn't like it too much.
Nah, I still love it.
You
I
just
mean,
watch
like
it
that.
for the animation, basically.
The takeoff sequence at the end and the war, like that was just the flight sequence where he was training.
Yeah,
You know, and
it
the
was
shadows.
like the first CGI was used in that to make him fly.
Not for the plane. If they no, I don't know. You have like an actual quote from them when they said that, because I wonder if it was the compositing or what. Because I'm not sure, it was not the model of the plane that was done by hand, and it wasn't the artwork of the clouds. There's one frame. There's a part where like there's this huge field of clouds and he flies above it. I was wondering if that is what they what was composited digitally.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I think they used CGI in Char's counterattack too. That came out the same year. They used it for like the spinning colony in the opening shot. It actually looks pretty good though, even though like all this time later.
I don't think I've seen that one. What is it called?
Char's counterattack for Gundam.
Okay.
Something that you cannot watch without having watched anything prior to that movie, basically.
Yep.
You have to watch the original Gundam series. You have to watch Z Gundam. You have to watch Double Z Gundam.
Got it.
Maybe I am forgetting.
Someone did put a little
else.
clip of the spinning colony on YouTube though. If you want to watch it, it's pretty interesting for how old it is.
Have you
It
watched
does.
all the UC Century stuff, by the way?
Yeah, I've seen everything.
Good for you. I stopped watching after I finished Z Gundam. I wanted to watch all the rest, like Double Z, but for many years I couldn't find the willpower to do it. Maybe I binged too much Gundam.
Probably. Honestly, it could be too that Double Z Gundam is probably one of the weakest series, and then Zeta Gundam ends on like one of the craziest endings. So it's like probably.
I know that it gets better though. Double Z.
It does, but I'm so like when I did my Gundam massive like Gundam anime ranking, I did rate into Gundams and animes. I put both in C tier, not Zeta Gundam, but Double Zeta, and it was in C tier. It's all right. Like it's.
Man,
there should be lots of Aman Khan in Double Z, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Honestly, like if anyone wants to watch a Gundam and they don't really want to like tap into everything like they do, just either watch the first Gundam or watch Turn a Gundam. I do always recommend those two. Like Turn a Gundam is really fun.
I watched
the only one that
Gundams
people...
that are not like UC and the first UC.
Oh, so you've probably seen like IBO and like Gundam OO. Yeah, I've seen those too.
Double O, IBO, and Seed as well, and G Gundam as well.
Seed's actually, funny enough, is one of the only ones I haven't seen. One of the only series.
Basically, you could see it as a reboot done in the early 2000s of the original Gundam, even if it's another universe. The core concepts are the same, and there's other stuff, and it's sort of a meme series because, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but the protagonist is called Kira Yamato, and
Jesus Yamato.
Yamato,
people literally refers to him as Jesus Yamato. Yeah,
I mean, the first season, the original Gundam Seed is fine, I guess. I mean, it has its pros and cons, but you could watch it. It's another take at the Gundam franchise, and it's fine. Sea Destiny, on the other hand, is something that is, I consider, unnecessary, but they did it, and they watch it nonetheless. And funny enough, they also did a movie a couple of years ago, which is weird because it's been like 20 years since it finished.
Yes, I think it was called like Seed Freedom or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I watched everything basically. Oh, and also I watched Gundam Wing, which is another famous Gundam series in the United States. And
no, that is the only one that people kind of talk about here, like that. That was showing on cable TV at the time, in the 90s or the late 90s, I think.
I think that among all the Gundam series that I watched, I think that Wing is one of those that aged very badly compared to others.
It's easily probably the worst one I've seen personally.
Yeah, I agree. I like some things about it, like HxH is a good Char clone overall. I like him, and the Gundam themselves are good looking, even if they are like more toyish than others, like the Chinese dragon like Gundam that there is there. Like, I don't know, I don't like it too much. The first version, at least the Athlon Gundam, is better, but that aside, the story is like not. It's very weak.
It's very like condensed down in a weird way, and it's funny too when you find out that like Wing was the show that like got popular here, and then you compare it to like every other Gundam that came out in the 90s, and you're like, it's easily the worst. Like,
which one should somebody who's never seen one try?
I mean, if you have the tolerance for older anime, you should just check out the original. There's nothing.
The original, but yeah. I don't know if you should watch the series or the movies.
Honestly, I think if you're someone who wants to just get into Gundam and you don't care about like having the proper way, the movies are fine. Like, they're really good on their own right. I watched the original series, but I watched the movies too. They were good, but I think the original series is a little better. But you know, when in the modern day, when people are so like short attention span.
Well, the best Gundam product that I ever consumed, I think that is War in the Pocket.
Yeah, War in the Pocket's very good. I always try to start people off that too. It's very concise. It's only like 5 episodes, 6 or something like that.
That series, even more than the others, is less Gundam and more something that you could watch.
It's more like a drama.
The Gundam itself is very on the background of the story itself.
Interesting. You know what? You guys, like, my favorite. I think my favorite mecha thing is Macross Plus.
Yeah, Macross is cool. I watched the original Macross, and then is Macross Plus the one that's like the OVA that's only a couple of episodes?
Yeah, it's like 5 or 4.
Yeah. But that one's good too.
Yeah, that is one of the absolute high points of this all media. I mean, like, there's no other anime that has those themes, I guess.
A dubbed version of Turn.
Yeah. Which one?
Oh no, I was gonna say I thought that said you guys had a dubbed version, or maybe you guys did. I don't know.
No,
it was an English trailer. I was just looking at what he had on the screen. But as you can see, Turn of Gundam is the only series to this day to have a non-Japanese designer design stuff for it. They did. They had Sid Mead, of Blade Runner fame, come in, design the main suit, the enemy's main suit, and then some of the grunt suits, along with one of the side characters' main suits.
Did people like the design?
Actually, people hated the Turn of Gundam for quite a while. It was very controversial. It just now has started to get love within the past couple years. I really like the design because I'm a Sid Mead fanboy, but it really depends on how you feel about it. That's funny because one of the biggest things that keeps people from watching some Gundam series is actually the mechanical design, which I never knew people were that particular about it. To me, like, a mech's a mech. As long as it doesn't look stupid, I'm all right with it. You know what I mean? Like
right.
And for me, I guess it takes a while for me to consider what I consider stupid, I guess. Like, as long as it doesn't look like a giant clown nose or something like that, I'm all right. Like,
or just a walking clown.
Reading about like I read about Sid Mead's his kind of process, and thinking about the industrial design of this thing. How would this thing work? How people interact with it in the real world? Like, do you see any of that in this?
Yeah, I think that's actually what's interesting. Like, if you go read his design philosophy behind creating all of his stuff, like, he goes in real in depth about that stuff. He was kind of just a nerdy guy about that type of stuff. He'd be like, well, this could do this, and this because of this, and this is because, and you're like, okay, that's pretty interesting, but they never really going to use this in the show. And but they actually do use they use that Gundam in that series for a lot of stuff that isn't related to what other Gundams. Like, at one point it uses for like clothes washing and stuff. So it's a pretty interesting series. It's very nice. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's pretty devolved from other Gundam series. It's kind of its own thing too.
Well, I mean, Blade Runner is one of the most rewatched things too. And I do think that having that kind of philosophy behind it, it affects the show on maybe a subliminal level. You get the feeling that, you know what, this could be real, even if you only get it subconsciously.
I think, to come back to what he said earlier, I think that's what makes War in the Pocket so good, though, is that out of all the Gundam series, not to say other Gundam series don't feel like they couldn't be real, but that feels like it actually happened. Like, when you finish it, you're like, holy shit, I just watched someone die.
It's very.
You almost feel like
yeah.
Hold on, is that the one that people always share memes about where people die super horribly? A big shell falls on them, and it's just one bullet.
Oh no! That is F91. That's Tomino. Tomino people die even crazier in his stuff. I would say War in the Pocket's a little dialed back from his nuttiness. People just blow up in his stuff all the time or get just eviscerated. It's crazy.
Well, you know what? Maybe those people suck. Maybe they said you suck.
I think his whole message is that. Yeah, people do suck and war sucks, and then people are gonna die. That's kind of the whole thing a little bit.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Watching that,
and I think it's on YouTube.
Just the same thing opening.
It really, you would think, but really, a lot of Gundam series don't have as much to do with each other as you would think. Especially a lot of the spin-off ones, IBO, that's probably one of the most different Gundam series. I mean, if it wasn't called Gundam, people probably would treat it different. It just happens to be named Gundam. It's one of those things. His other series too, I think a lot of people end up thinking his other series are going to be like Gundam, but really, they're not. They're really not. They have robots in them because he likes robots, but they're not really anything like those series. You know what I mean? I can't remember what series he made. I saw Ideon, and Ideon was literally the year after Gundam, and it has almost kind of nothing to do with Gundam. And the final movie, Be Invoked, is very different from the ending of Gundam.
Oh yeah, the
very
movie.
different.
It wasn't popular back in the day, now.
Yeah, Be Invoked is honestly probably one of the most enjoyable things I've ever watched. It's
which one is that?
It's called Space Runaway Ideon Be Invoked. It's sort of like the end of Evangelion, 10 years before the end of Evangelion. It's very, very powerful, but it's also like you have to kind of work up to it. And Ideon itself it's a pretty slow and almost like jarring show with its pacing. And so I think it's almost done intentionally, though. It's a very off-putting show. It shows just like almost every episode is just like depression and like off-putting and sadness. Kind of same thing with Victory Gundam too, funny enough. Like it's just like, I mean, I think the first episode of Victory Gundam, you see like one of his mentors' heads get cut off on the guillotine. No, it's the fourth, but it's pretty early on.
That must be where Grim get here to cut the head off and then stop. You know what? We need to chop the head off of somebody.
Yeah.
Don't stop this thing.
Victory Gundam was sort of made during this time where he was like going through a lot with Bandai, and like they were getting into arguments, and he didn't want to make Gundam anymore. And they were sort of like, oh, well, you have to. It's a new era, because I think at that point the era had just transitioned right then, and then his previous like new era Gundam had failed, so it was like this big controversy. So he sort of made the show, and then it's like we watch it, it's just like depression zone. Like nothing positive happens until like the last 3 episodes.
This is Ideon you're talking about?
No, I mean Ideon's the same thing. The reason he was depressed about Ideon is because halfway through, so he had always had planned it to have a more somber ending than Gundam, but halfway through it was canceled. Like I think it got canceled like 37 episodes in or something like that. So it ended on like episode 39 or something, which is funny. The original Gundam series was also canceled. It was supposed to be 50 episodes and only made it to 43.
Interesting.
So I think he had a lot of like creative burnout and kind of just a bit of, angst at the time. This is a man who's, Tomino's very old now, but he was more in like his 40s, 50s now. He's probably just more like a grumpy middle-aged man right then at that point. Actually, he might have been younger. He might have been more closer to mid-30s.
Could you imagine the mad rush it must have taken to make these things, and you do it physically back then?
If you check his fucking whatever Wikipedia and look at his stuff, he has one of the craziest runs of all time. He started making anime like I think he literally directed a series every year from like 1996 all the way to like 1990. I think it was 1987 was the last year he directed something. Like it's straight. Like outside of that, he's directed something every year. And then eventually he did take a break after that and he doesn't nearly direct as much. But like his Gundam series all just go bam, 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 like one after the other. So I was gonna say you might need to go to his Wikipedia. I think he's credited on every single Gundam series on IMDb. So which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it doesn't 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yeah, so now we're getting closer to his actual stuff. Good.
So he's the guy who actually first created it.
Yeah, he's the first creator. So if you keep going back, we're gonna get there eventually. Okay, so there we go. So he started on the original fucking Astro Boy, and then he made his first anime after that. Now he didn't direct anything until Zambot 3, but after that Zambot 3, if you look, he just directs something every single couple of months. So he made Zambot 3, Daitarn 3, then he made what's it called? Gundam afterwards, after those two wrapped up. Then he made Ideon immediately after that wrapped up. He made the Gundam movies in between that. While in between that, he was making what's it called? Zabungle. If you look, it says right there, Zabungle in 1982. Yeah. And then after that, he made Dunbean. And then after that, if you go up a little bit, you see he made L Game 2. And then if you go up after that, you see he made Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta Gundam.
So this guy, what's this guy net worth? Because I know sometimes these people have like a surprisingly low net worth despite all the stuff that they've done.
I was right? That to myself.
Yeah, because like the right, even if they're the creator, a lot of times the right belongs to a mega corporation and they get most of it. And then I sometimes wonder if he's being paid, if some of these guys are being paid so little, they still stay with the company,
Yeah.
I mean, you also said.
Now, is it honor? Is it like loyalty? Do they just want to make shows?
He's on so many projects. He's so many interviews.
Maybe he has like a lot of gambling there.
And a lot of people say that he's probably worth millions, but that he's never once disclosed how much he is worth.
Interesting.
Yep. And it's not. I think in Japan it's a lot harder to get access to that type of info. In America, you can type in what's net worth and find it like in 10 minutes. But
right,
I've noticed that it's much harder to figure out what who's worth and what's worth, and very interesting.
But no, I will say this. I think in America, a lot of times they inflate the net worth, right? They put
they definitely
right,
do.
And it's probably the reverse in Japan. Like he might be worth 300 million, but he lives in like a hovel somewhere, pretending to be like this genius artist. I'm suffering from my heart over here. That's
What I think's crazy though too is that while he was releasing all these series and directing them, he also wrote like I think 10 novels during this time. Like while he was doing these series. He wrote the 3 Gundam novelizations, and then like I think he wrote ones for Zeta, Double Zeta, and then he wrote some other stuff that has nothing to do with Gundam, and then he also wrote Hathaway's Flash, and then also another series called Gaia Gear.
Right. So I mean, like some people theorize, well, the tortoise lives so long because of its slow metabolism. How old is this guy? He's like 80 now?
Yeah.
So this guy did all of this stuff with this insane work ethic, and he's 80. Would he have lived to 200 had he done nothing?
Damn near, I would think. I was thinking about that because, he was mid-40s doing this stuff, like literally working himself to the bone in mid-40s.
And if there's a recent picture, he's looking good for 80, will any of us be vertical at 80? Much less walking around.
Japanese look a bit better at older age. Or well, no, they stay younger in the face. And later on, they.
What I think is interesting though too is that he was such an influential creator. Is that like he's still getting like new adaptations of his old like novels to this day, and they're often better than some of the new Gundam projects that are coming out, which kind of like drives me insane a little bit.
Wait,
So he had a new anime adaptation for one of his novels from, I think, 1985 called Hathaway's Flash. I think it was 1987, actually. But it was the 80s, late 80s. But it just now got a 2-part movies. It's going to get a final movie in the upcoming years. But the second movie was literally one of the best anime movies I've seen in years. Like, it restored my faith in anime movies a little bit.
Right.
I like the Chainsaw Man movie, but like it had been a long time since I had saw something that wasn't a manga come out and just be like absolutely banger of a movie. And Hathaway's Flash is, I guess it's cheating because it is a novel technically, but I don't count that. This is the first time it's actually been able to see what it physically looks like. You know what I mean? So. And
so all his novels were Gundam related.
Flash. What year was that?
So I don't. Hathaway's Flash. There it is. There's the new one in between. That's it. That's the new one. Kido Senshi Gundam. Yeah, that's it. That's the new one. So that's the Witch of Circe or whatever. So that's the sequel, and then the first one came out 2019, 2020. They're both. I think they're both on Netflix now. If you guys want to give them a watch, by the way. And they are better if you know other Gundam stuff, but I watched them with my girlfriend first time, and she just ended up liking them without even knowing anything.
I mean, if nothing has to do with anything, then
they do have quite a bit to do with the previous Gundam movie, but at the same time, like you can just watch them, and like they're more of like spy films. Like they like the first one really does feel like a James Bond film at its heart, almost like
over the top James Bond movie.
Yeah, and then the second one more like transitions in between that feeling to more of like a war film, and then like the final one I hear is just like very battle based. It's going to be a bunch of people like dying and doing crazy stuff.
So sometimes it feels like some of these mega franchises, they just use kind of the name and they do like totally different things with each incarnation.
Yep. So that's what a lot of people, I think they get like worried because they think, oh shit, when I watch this, I'm gonna have to know what the 1979 Gundam thinks of this, but it's like really not like that. When you watch Gundam 00, the only thing you have to know is what's in Gundam 00. You don't have to know what Amuro thinks or you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like
Right. Like I saw Macross on its own, decades before. Like at the time that I was coming out in Trinidad, they had no information about anything else. We didn't know anything. This is the only thing, and this was like all we could see, and we couldn't even find out more about it, and it was a complete work on its own.
Yeah, have you seen the original Macross, or is it just Frontier or Plus or whatever?
I saw Plus, I saw Frontier. No, I saw Zero.
Okay, Zero. Okay. I really do recommend the original Macross too. Like that's another series like Gundam or Space Battleship Yamato that I think everyone should try to like at least watch, because the original Macross series is actually really good, like shockingly good.
I started Yamato and I started 999. There's a couple old anime that are started. A lot of them.
Galaxy Express.
That is like a fantasy one, a comedy fantasy. Rune Explorers, like all the stuff that I would see on the ADV advertisement. They just flash dozens of shows and you'd never see any of them.
Yeah, I'm really interested to finally watch, or not finally watch, but finally read. God, what's it called? Oh God, I can't think of the name. It's
not Lotus War.
It's not Zambal. It's Getter Robo. I want to read that finally. It's by the Devilman creator. You know what I mean?
I watched and read. I've read the manga series many years ago.
Yeah, that's like one of the few, like it's one of the biggest blind spots in my thingy. Like I've watched some Mazinger and I've seen some Getter Robo, but I've never really like sat down to like tune into either of them.
Does Getter Robo have like an extremely high production value, OBA? I feel like
yeah, no, it actually does. I think it has like a few actually that are pretty high production. Like it's been blessed to have some pretty well animated stuff. It's funny too, because as old as the original Mazinger is, it does actually have some pretty compelling animation at times. You're like, damn, but I think that's one of my issues with older animation. Like I'll still watch them, and I'm a big fan of older anime, but like I do get what people's mean. Like times the animation will like alternate between like, wow, this is really good, to wow, this looks absolutely terrible on your screen. Like it just looks like a smear of colors.
I will say this though, they're good at. They are good at framing.
Yeah,
they're good at framing shots. And they do a lot with backgrounds and parallax and framing and maximizing.
It's like
no, I will say that
you won't see any of that shit because it was so low res and your TV is so small that you don't see.
Well, that's why their framing is something that like I will say is important, because like a lot of these shows don't look great on high res TVs, but like a lot of them have aged like better because they were shot and framed so well that they like look unique in a way in their own. You know what I mean? Like they don't maybe look like as good as something from the 80s or 90s, but they do have kind of this unique like this unique poppy smooth style that kind of, it's almost enjoyable in its own right. Like
here's an example. One of the anime that was super huge and I always mention it was Samurai X, aka Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
And the new one. Yeah, the new one is not ready for the old one. The old one, the framing of the shots was so incredible. Like they might have had like 2,000 drawings to do a half hour, a 22 minutes, But the framing of the shot is what was able to let them get this thing across and to get it across effectively and to make it visually interesting. Something as simple as just, all right, you have to go talking. What if you just tilt the camera? The new one just doesn't do that.
It's interesting. Well, I was to say it's interesting that like when you bring that up, because I was thinking about that. Like, so if you ever watch like something that I would kind of argue kind of has one of those, is like the original Vampire Hunter D versus the 2000s one or whatever. If you watch the 85 one versus the 2000s one, I'd argue the 85 one probably has better animation, but the 2000s one probably has better framing. And since a lot of the framing
Artwork.
itself is very clear, like clean and just very gothic looking, I think a lot of people will be like, man, this is animated so much better. But like, I don't actually think it is animated better. I think it just looks cleaner. And like, it's very interesting. You would have to watch both of them to understand it. But I
85 is just like an whole different style, whole different feel, and it's like an whole different.
I think there's just so much more emotion in their actual animations. Like when, you know, and Vampire Hunter D is pretty, but like he only does like 2 or 3 hand motions the entire movie. Like he doesn't really like cut anything or attack anything really like in highly animated detail. It's just like a couple of slices.
Wait, in the first one or the second one?
No, the second one.
Well, I mean, there was that fight with Myelink on the carriage.
Yeah, he was fighting.
There was the fight. There was the fight with the shadow.
It doesn't really have that much going on in it though. If you watch it,
slashed through somebody. So yeah, I get what you mean with like.
It doesn't. It's just like it's not to say it's ugly or anything like that. I don't want to, because people are going to take it and be like, "Oh my god, I think that show's very beautiful." I just think more like when people talk about animation, like what do they mean? Do they mean like how good it looks, or do they mean like how much it's animated? Because like if we're talking about that, like the older one definitely has.
All right, let me give you an example that I always think about. There's this shot where he's riding the horse on the back of an enormous sand mountain. That is just insane. And they drew it. That was not like a side view where they're just moving up and down. No. They drew it. You know what I mean? Like that's clearly drawn. That wasn't. They didn't use any shortcuts for that.
Yeah.
There's the. I do think I understand what you mean in terms of like we don't have like a huge amount of choreography with the fight.
Yeah. So like I think you watch some of these like animated thingies and it's like sometimes like older animation can actually have like more fluent or detailed animation, but they themselves, like the models or whatever it's drawn, it just doesn't look as detailed as something from later periods because of just the way it was made or how it was made or even who made it. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, animation can always be very deceptive.
The drawings from the original were much simpler, so maybe you could get away with a lot more incidental animation with if that might be part of what you're talking about.
And also, like it was like
there's a lot of talking heads in the new one. There's that too. I think. But then there's the shot where this rain of arrows is falling through the graveyard, and there's like 20 zombies being stabbed. I do think the framing in the old one is cooler, like that. The 2 planets behind the Earth. Like, what the hell is even the second one? This is Earth. Why is Mars next to it? Don't think about it. It looks cool, you know?
Yeah.
80s are just like more high profile. 80s, not a.
Yeah, there's like a shocking amount of like fan service and violence in the original Vampire Hunter D.
Like, the newer anime more style over. Obviously we get action and we get gore and all that kind of stuff, but it's like just differently shown than you would do in the 80s or 90s. Then it's just like half the thing is more like gore or guts, or like we need to show this or else we don't have animation, or we just have still shots all the damn time.
Yeah, I know a lot of people weren't a super big fan of this movie, but I do recommend checking it out. Like I think it's just as good as the 2000s one.
I do think that I think the old one is like a good example of good framing. Like, I mean, the shot of the 2 planets behind the castle, like that's like freaking sick. There's like a lot of cool shit like that. You know, we don't have a lot of frames. We need to frame the shot and have some interesting compositions and things to, you know, make it interesting. I think both of them were Kawajiri, right?
No, I think the first one was whatever. Yeah, I think it says Toyo Ishida right there.
Okay. I do hope that Kawajiri gets to make at least one more thing, because I mean, with such a body of work, and I do hear rumors that they're gonna make a name Ninja Scroll and he's gonna direct it. I don't know if that is true.
I have heard that too. I don't know the validity of it, but
all about last episode.
By the way, have you guys seen this kind of generally in animation? Like in anime, people are going back to old methods, using cells, doing physical artworks, and I think that is,
Some
and
instances,
also
but
in the shows themselves, they have
I
like
mean,
more cartoony things, like the new Ghost in the Shell, and I feel like it's almost like a response to AI.
I think,
You know,
someone said it best. I think we're literally like a couple of years away from having another huge like animation like style resurgence, because like we sort of had like a very rough transitional period from the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s, where anime kind of looked ugly there for a couple years, if we're being honest. Not all animes, but quite a
right?
few animes definitely looked ugly there for a couple of years. And I think we're sort of going back to that older period where like we're gonna see a lot more experimental stuff, I think, in the next couple of years.
And a part of that I think is because there was two reasons. One, there was a lot of ugly CG. One, two, there was a lot of digital effects that people I think probably were now getting used to and were pressing every button. Um, like the a lot of I'm trying to think of an example. But yeah, the CG I think doesn't hold up in a lot of them. And there was a
yeah,
time
yeah.
there was
Also,
digital anime, but it wasn't HD. So they had now started to do digital anime, but it wasn't powerful. The computers weren't powerful enough yet that they were had available to them to do HD. So
I
there's
get
like a few anime that is difficult to get HD because
I feel
it
like
never existed.
animes have just started to now like fully utilize HD to its like full like ability, though, because like I've just now started like I feel like in the past like 6 7 years I've just now started seeing animes that are like just crisp, beautiful, fully colored, no more low res random textures included in like very beautiful high res shots. Like you
I
can
mean,
tell that
still,
like there is, yeah, not, but I'm talking about more on like higher end animes, like stuff like
yeah,
JJK and stuff like that. Like
sure,
something like
sure. I mean, with
JJK is
like,
something like if JJK was animated in like 2015, that shit would look completely fucking different. Like that
yeah,
shit would
Uh,
look
uh,
like fairy tale.
no,
Like
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I
Also,
mean?
like, Devil for instance, the new one, well, newer one by,
Oh yeah, you're talking about Devilman Crybaby?
yeah. They
Yeah.
also have some backgrounds like really low res or just really ugly, and just the
uh,
characters
um,
look really good. And
Yeah, it's
beyond
I,
that,
I
it's
have a
funny
theory
because
as to why. As to why it starts to look better now. I think a lot of the staff is younger and they were born into this digital age, so they kind of know they they know what could be done, and so they direct in a way that makes you say it better.
yeah,
If you were used to doing stuff analog, you would not you would not have an idea as to what could be done. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And
Like,
I thought it
like
was
take a look
crazy
at
though.
the
Devilman Crybaby is almost 10 years old now already. Did you know that? That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
yeah,
say. Because when
yeah.
you said that,
time
I
flies.
I didn't realize that. Like I was checking it, I was like, yeah, maybe he's right about the night shift. I'm like, that's almost a 10-year-old anime though. Like when you think about it, that's
Mm,
crazy.
Mm.
that was yesterday. You guys lying. Jesus.
early anime.
Yeah, time is
What do
flying.
you
'Cause I
what do you
remember that
guys
came
think
out
of
like
the look at that show?
2018. Okay, yeah, yeah. It's been a couple of years, yeah, since that came
yeah,
out.
it's 2016 and we're almost to the end of 2016 or 2026. I mean, not 2016, but
Uh,
2026, and we're almost to the end. So
Um,
yeah, we're close,
shit.
man.
uh,
Oh well,
what,
but
what
different
do you guys
things
think
this
of the look at
time.
the show? I had a hard time kind of getting used to it. I didn't finish it, but I don't know if you know what I mean.
I think I can't remember. I'm forgetting. I'm like dropping the animator's name right now, but I think whoever this animator is, he has like a very like the head animation guy. I can't remember who it is. He has like a very distinct style because I think he also worked on something else, and I think his style is very like you love it or hate it.
Now I get the feeling that he kind of did this more for the paycheck. I could be wrong on that.
I mean, science service also being very like more experimental stuff, especially in the beginning.
Right, but I mean, I love the Ghost in the Shell, right?
Oh
That's a whole different topic.
no, it
That's
was
direct
no,
studio
no.
altogether.
This guy's
Way
pretty
over.
famous for having stuff that looks like very experimental. I couldn't remember his name, but
Was that the USA?
he's like very famous for having stuff that looks experimental. So I think
Yeah,
this was
Gundam,
absolutely an
Mind
intentional
King,
thingy.
Kaiba, Game
Yeah,
Is not a guy from
because
Studio 40, Morimoto?
no, he works at he works at
Science
the Ghost in the Shell studio. Yeah, the Ghost in the Shell studio.
He didn't do Kaiba.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he works
right.
at the Ghost in the Shell studio. I couldn't remember the name. Science Saru, whatever he said.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the studio he made. He was originally an animator, and then he later on made anime, and now
Yeah.
he made his own studio. He left the studio.
Oh, did he work on Cat Soup too and Mind Game? I didn't even know that.
Noise Insect too.
Yeah. No,
Not Morimoto. Who was it?
Masaki Ues already
Yeah.
said.
Ah, okay.
The animation
kept on
is
not
much
hearing-
better, by the way.
Oh, he worked on Kaiba too. Okay. No,
Kaiba,
yeah.
That's not so.
Yeah. So I knew he did the Tatami Galaxy because that one's like ridiculously famous.
Oh yeah,
Ping Pong as
no,
well.
it's
Ping
like,
Pong.
all time.
Yeah. Oh, he did ping pong animation too. Yeah, no wonder. Okay, yeah. I forgot he really did do a lot of like great animation work.
Oh yeah, no, he's like one of my faves, basically. Like his early stuff, though, not not Japan Sings or
People don't like Japan
Blue Over the
Sings.
Wall.
Have you
Fine
seen-
Sort of Walk On Girls? Also really good. This later one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. That's one of the only things I haven't seen by him. The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. Is that
It's a
actually
really
worth
good
it?
one. It's like a bit of an continuation of the Tatami Galaxy, kind of. Or,
You see, this is the thing. I like
basically in the same
a lot of the
universe
other
as
stuff that
Tatami
he's.
Galaxy, not particularly the same thing, but
I like a lot of the other stuff that he's made, but not Crybaby. You know, I like the look of it, even the looseness, even the.
I really
But
enjoy
there's some-
Crybaby, but I don't know. I guess I can get why some people wouldn't approve. Look, I think it looks cool though.
But I mean, you see the. You see what people, the reservations people would have. You know.
yeah. But other news. What do we think about Pokemon Red Voxel mods? You can literally turn those games into 3D games.
So at first, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to be a hater because I really kind of don't like the way it looks. But after seeing people play it, it actually looks like it'd be kind of fun. So I don't know really how to feel about it 100%. I think that people tend to like over nostalgize the older Pokemon games and make them a little better in their head than they actually were to play. They're good JRPGs, but like I don't know, there's a lot more I'd rather just like pick up from that time period than those ones.
That got it even more than the. It's like a multi-multi-dollar franchise, so it's just elevated 10 times more with the cards.
That's what I mean. Like I like a lot of those games, and I probably will give them a try. And I like some Pokemon games, I really like them, but others I don't know. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of JRPGs from that time period that I think are worth playing too.
Yeah. You have now what was it? VR mode you have in this. You have like battle mode in this. You have lots of different stuff in like the first week.
The VR mode would be cool. I would play that.
Now hold on. I try and understand. How is this made though? Like, is it using the original ROM and replacing every sprite with a 3D sprite?
A mod for the game, a voxel mod.
But I try to understand how exactly the mod is being made. If you know what I mean, like
they probably replaced all the textures somehow. I would assume.
Right, but there's different ways to do it. Like they could.
Well, it is really easy to make Pokemon custom games, so I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, this was Snap. It was probably a bit hard to do, but people have been making custom Pokemon stuff for a while, so I'm assuming it might be something in like a new powerful editor that was allowing him to do this.
Well, you see, like people talk about textures, and like you could kind of see how that's a little easier to do because it's just about replacing the art, right? Flat artwork, right? But this is turning a sprite game into a voxel game, right?
Interesting. So you can literally flip it down.
Yeah, and then just walk around and battle people.
I didn't know you could go back and forth between the planes.
What?
Like
all right.
The sprite and then the 3D. That's pretty interesting, actually.
Well, look, I think we can agree that Satan is involved somehow.
Sure. Oh yeah, there was even Mario was even put into it. So you can play.
Interesting. So I bet we're going to be seeing a lot of voxel versions of older games here coming up in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
and you know what I like? I like that it doesn't look like it's very heavy to run.
No, that's what I was a little worried about, but it looks like he's not like running it on anything that crazy, and he was able to pop in and out of the whatever top perspective and then the
right. So
3D.
Check out that there. You have to use the original ROM. So he's using the original ROM and I guess doing a replacement at some point.
Yeah, I bet you anything it does. It probably swaps out all the files. Well, I don't know if you guys have messed around with any of like the Bethesda game patches or like the Morrowind.
No, not really. I mean,
engine.
they did have.
Well, I'll say this:
they basically they replace like half the game to get it to run. It's kind of funny.
So this is a total conversion from Morrowind, or
So for Morrowind, at least you download this thing called like Tamriel Rebuilt, and it's like someone went and not someone, but a team of modders went and they like fully scoped out what was ever supposed to be in the original Morrowind game, because Morrowind only takes place on an island when originally it was supposed to take place on the entire country of Morrowind. So they went back, they did that, they rewrote the engine, and then so when you do it, it like literally like replaces the entire engine basically with like a new updated version.
Interesting. So what I find interesting is that the fans seem to be able to make use of these people's engines better than they can. How is that?
I mean, to be fair, I think some of the stuff had literally got started like 20 years ago for Morrowind.
Right, but now it's 20 years ago by a much smaller team with no money. I mean,
it took them 20 years to do some of this stuff. I mean, like it took them like 15 years to do this or something.
Well, I'd rather stick into it. Morrowind is one of
our... I think Bethesda almost ran out of money while making it. Like it was one of those things like their last games hadn't done good. And then they were like, oh yeah, if we don't release this, we shut down. So they had to like cut down scope halfway through. I know a lot. It was like a big thing. And then like the original creators left. It was pretty interesting. You should watch a little. I think there's like a little YouTube documentary about it somewhere.
That was my first kind of open world RPG like that. Anything like it? Actually, probably anything.
Well, there was
like close to that.
There was like Gothic and stuff like that. I think Gothic came out around the same time. But yeah, that was basically one of like the first like RPGs that were.
Well, I mean that I played. I know there were before, but it's kind of an important game for me because you won't never didn't finish it. Although I imagine that is the kind of game that many people never finish. There was one thing in it that I really liked and it was haunting. It was like, do you remember if you killed an NPC that was needed for the game?
Yeah, it would doom the world forever. It would give you a note saying this world is now doomed.
That message was so haunted, even though it was like a fourth wall breaking thing. You know, it was like, you can reload a save or you can persist in this damned world that you have created.
Yeah, it's funny. I think one of the developers put a troll in because I can't remember if you kill like some unrelated like thing in one of those caves and thingy. It dooms your world, because I know that happens. I remember I killed like a bug or something like that and it doomed my world. And it was just like random, like it was completely random. It had nothing to do with anything.
Nice. I wonder if he was checking to see if anybody would call his bluff. You think that people gonna? And like so many people never finish the game anyway. Man, you know what was scary? The freaking you know there was times where you would sleep and you'd be awakened by like an ash ghoul.
Yeah.
Jesus, the first time that happened,
Or the Dark Brotherhood, you sleep and then they immediately go like they start like cussing at you and start stabbing you.
I
But,
remember my house was so full of loot I couldn't pick up anything. I was like, no, I don't want. I want that, not that. Like and the room was slowing down. It was so full, and then I was thinking, how did they get this to run like an Xbox? If the computer can't run it, it would probably explode. Like a lot of people don't know that game. It came out on Xbox too.
They always claim. So Todd Howard claims that Xbox has a way to like turn off itself without actually rebooting the entire system, and that more when it's loading during some of the load screens, will literally like technically shut off and restart the Xbox while keeping it like in the background running. I don't know how true that is, but that's what Todd Howard claims.
He claims a lot of things, but I do imagine that just because imagine if you're looking at something that probably had I think in here a 128. But basically, I know that the computers at the time had a much higher requirement for it than what the Xbox had, because it was probably 128 RAM on PC, and I think the Xbox had 64 gigabytes of RAM, and that's shared with video memory and system memory. I might be wrong about that though. But
no, that is true. So it had 64 megabytes. So this is what he claims. I was looking it up. He claims that Xbox developers told him that they had this mode where you could essentially reset the Xbox's memory while keeping a game running, but you would theoretically reboot it in the background. So he said that the load screens, in fact, are actually the Xbox rebooting the memory in the background and not actually like, because Morrowind will occasionally have these really long load screens that on the original Xbox that'll last maybe like 30 seconds to a minute. And a lot of people couldn't figure out why, but he claims that it's literally the game itself is literally pausing the screen, like just like keeping it in like I don't know where they keep the game. I've always wondered that, but somehow keeping it in a state to where it pops back up after you've rebooted. I don't know if they do like a quick save or something like that, but it's very interesting.
I mean, I know games.
So that is both a save and a load.
What?
Say that again?
Like some games. I know if you keep on Xbox or other stations up too long, then you get like creepy sounds, like to keep the kids awake or to start some rumors.
Oh yeah, are you talking about the original Xbox's sounds? Yeah, those things were creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes,
yes. Steam, for instance, if you keep it on too long, then you get like Amnesia, the Dark Ascent sounds from the library, even if you don't have the game installed up for some reason. But that's more of like a glitch, and with like Xbox, that was like more intentional.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I remember being a kid, and like the first time one of those sounds came on, like the horror I felt. I was up like way too late in the middle of the night, and like I was trying to play like Lego Star Wars or something like that, but like I wasn't reading my disc, so I had to like get up and like do it, clean off the disc, one of those things. So I remember like getting up and like I was like cleaning off a disc, and the next thing I hear like over the thing, and I was like, what the fuck was that? I literally remember like shitting my pants, basically, like a little kid, like screamed like through the disc or whatever. I like looked around, there was nothing there, and then like I like waited another like couple minutes, and then it did it again. I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I remember that. It was funny. Good times. The original Xbox, I will say that it was like, it really did feel like having a computer before I had a computer. Like it did, like being able to like it played so many games. It was so powerful. Like it had games that like the games just looked so good. I remember the first time I hooked it up to like our HD TV too. And I think the original Xbox game had like one game that supported like 720p or something like that. Or
no, there's a few of them. There's more than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I always assumed it was just the one, but I had one game that supported it, and I remember playing something on HD for the first time on the original Xbox. Or like, I don't think it was internally HD, but it outputted at 720p. That's what it was, or something like that.
No, there's a few games that do native 720p, and I think there's at least one that does 1080i.
Really? That's interesting.
But 1020p,
I do know my first HD experience was on the original Xbox, not the 360, and I remember that like as a kid, it was very vivid. Like I remember plugging in the component cables and getting that like resolution for the first time. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, this is what games gonna look like.
To be fair, the original 360 model, which was discontinued fairly early, I guess, in the production line, didn't even have an HDMI port to connect it to a TV.
It's funny that you brought that up. That's actually the one I had for years. So I didn't have an HDMI port.
Really? And you didn't like 360s were
mine red ring to death once. We sent it back and then we caught it back and it never did it again.
What? Does it still work?
Yeah. I mean, it would have worked if I think someone I had like threw it away because they like stepped on it and broke like part of the thing, because I had actually ripped off part of it to like mod it, with JTAG, it's where you could like switch out the discs and stuff. Yeah, it worked till the end. It was a trooper. I still have another 360 though in the other room. So
nice.
Cool.
The
with the intro screen, with like when you boot up the Xbox, it was like run in real time, the Xbox.
Yeah. I saw that, like the animation, like you can literally like pull out the animation and it's actually rendered. Like I was like, what? Like it kind of blew my mind seeing that. Like so I will say this, like I'm not a huge fan of Microsoft's software wise. Their hardware has always been excellent outside of 360. 360 is kind of like one of the biggest like elephants in the room, but God, like my Series 1 literally got like in a house fire and that thing still worked afterwards.
Yeah.
Literally, remember I told you it melted my PS5, but that Series 1 was still working. It just smelled like crap, so we didn't want to keep it.
Which one was this? The Series S, the smaller one?
Yeah, it was just one of those small ones, like just a crappy one, right? And my parents got into a house fire. It literally melted our PS5. That thing was covered in soot, ash. It was dusty. It had melted the button. The DVD had got melted on top of it. It still worked perfectly fine.
Yeah.
This is the one without the drive.
Yep, without the drive. They also had one that had they also had like a 1S though too that had a drive, and that thing worked fine too. I'm telling you, like ever since 360, they have taken their like hardware standards pretty stringent. Like I have not had.
I'll say this: I have a VCR Xbox One that's broken here for I don't know why, but
really?
knock on wood. I have the first Xbox, the like I said, the VCR one. I have a Series S, but I don't use it that much. But I do hope it's as solid as you say. There's no hard drive, so or I should say there's no spinning hard drive. So hopefully, because that seems like a really good console to mod, because it should play up to.
Yeah, I
think people have PS2.
I have a base model one too, and that thing is actually perfectly fine, which I was actually shocked. I plugged it in not too long ago just to like use it for a little while, and it was running fine. Like don't get me wrong, it was slow because like it's a 15-year-old Xbox or whatever, but
I mean I still need to play mine. I bought it secondhand on the market, but I still have to save files from games from the last owner, but I still need to play it sometime.
One of the worst parts about Xbox though is that the emulation is so much behind like every other type of emulation.
Yeah, it seems like I had thought that it would have been easy because it was so close, or easier because it was so close to a PC.
Well, no, it's shocking because Microsoft's security is actually like incredibly good on both the Xbox and the original Xbox, and it kind of deters people because they could spend time doing that, or a lot of people could just buy the Xbox game on their Xbox now, and I guess that's probably why it's not as like I don't think that drives there like for the PS3, because like the PS3 you can't get like any of those games unless you have one. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like where like 95% of Xbox's important games are available on Xbox right this second.
Weird.
This is 360, but Fable 2 is still exclusive to Xbox 360.
I think you can play that, can't you? Or is that the only one that you can't?
You could play it on Xbox One, but it can't play it on PC. There was never a PC ported out.
So yeah, that's fully backwards compatible in Series X though. So that's what I mean.
Right.
Like, any of that stuff that Microsoft has released from the past. I think like the only game that Microsoft has released that like no, I think that game's backwards compatible too. I was gonna say Lost Odyssey, but that one's backwards compatible too.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. I'm not sure if Otogi 1 and 2 work on Xbox
What
Series. Otogi
Toby?
1 and 2. OTOGI is a kind of underrated FromSoft game. It was exclusive to the original Xbox. I think.
Toby. Yeah. I've heard of those games.
But this game is backwards compatible, and everybody should play it. Panzer Dragoon Saga. No, Otter.
Yeah, you talked about it one and that.
Oh, you can buy Otogi right now on Xbox. It's $20.
Okay, good.
It just came back though. It looks like it just re-released in 2024-ish or 2023-ish.
Okay, that's good. That's
different views.
That's what I mean. Like, so that's like the one, like PlayStation, if anything, is like the one person that's like still holding out by not giving any type of like older games. Because at least Nintendo, like I don't agree with their whole thingy scheme, but like you at least can play like N64 games and GameCube games if you want to. Like, yeah, it's kind of sucks.
That is perfect almost.
Yep. And like, and they do, and the thing is they re-release their games more often than like really like any other like company.
The problem is this though, a lot of them you can't buy. You have to use the online subscription thing. So it's not our own the game.
Yeah, they have gotten better about that with the Switch. I will say that because I do remember that, like when I was growing up, like Nintendo, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Nintendo's releasing this game, but you can only buy it from the Nintendo Club," or like something like that, or like Nintendo's doing this, but you can only get it from Nintendo Club. They've gotten a lot better. But I guess maybe not 360. You know, they do release a lot of stuff only on their subscription service too. So I don't know. Depends.
And also, you can correct me on this. Maybe you would know. I don't think you could have. You could run a game both on your old Switch and a Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think it's one or the other.
Yeah, that was so they took that away with the Switch 2, and I honestly don't know how they could get away with that because I don't have a Switch 1 anymore, but I know a lot of people used to be able to do this thing where they could like two people could play on the Switch and you could play games together, like it works for multiplayer games, and now it does it, and I know a lot of people are still very angry about that like a year later.
There's a lot of stupid things they do. Like, do you know that the PS3, you could use any Bluetooth headset to play games, and on PS4 you can't.
Same with Xbox. So I bought like a very expensive gaming headset, right? And I was going to use it on Xbox. It works on my PSP. It works on my Switch. It works on my computer. It works on PlayStation. For some very specific reason, that it doesn't work with Xbox because Xbox requires like a very specific like certification. And even though like my headset's more expensive than like 95% of Xbox, like it didn't meet that verification because it didn't. You know how it is. They always want to make you pay more money for like a badge on the side. Yeah. There's like a slightly different version of my headset that also works with Xbox for an extra $15. Like, oh wow, cool.
Nice. And like there's a lot of I've read about 360 official Forza peripherals not working with Xbox One.
No,
something like that.
Yeah, like when I got that's one of the reasons. Like when I got a One, I just like a lot of my friends just like tossed their shit, and I ended up like scooping it from them because like none of their peripherals worked, and in their head they were thinking, well, I'm not going to need this 360 stuff again. I'm like, I'll take it. Like I'll take your keyboard thingy and your little old Turtle Beaches that you don't want anymore, and I'll take all that stuff.
One thing I hate is that these companies always talk about being eco-friendly and doing the right thing for the environment, and they created all of this e-waste for no reason. You know? It's ridiculous.
What's one thing I love about computers is like some of the stuff I've gotten from my computer, I have legitimately had for 10 plus years and not had to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, you better hold on to the RAM that we have, right? Because we ain't getting no more time soon.
No crap.
So,
I'm lucky to have 32 gigs right now, so I'm good, but yeah.
Right, but I'm just.
Other news.
Yeah, go ahead. So we derailing this thing for too long. Sorry, man. Yeah.
Other news. Die Dark came out with a 3-in-1 edition that can also glow in the dark. And
th-
3.9 came out. I don't know
I guess
if
this is
you're
a
up to date with that.
good time to ask, how do you feel about 3-in-1 editions?
I mean, it's pretty. They're pretty nice. Majority of them are pretty nice that I've bought, but I just don't have the room for them because
I think
they're
I think
quite
I
heavy.
sort of alternate. Like if it's like a really long series, I kind of prefer 3-in-1s. If it's like a shorter series, like I think I'd rather just have the single volumes. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, but I'm like, there's like lots of series that I started out with the single volumes, like collecting them for years because they came out like one or twice per year, and then suddenly, like, not even the last volume is dropped. Oh no, 3-in-1. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna sell all my volumes just to have 3-in-1s, just to have the
Yeah.
more
So they did that with Hunter
ones.
x Hunter. I was about to start collecting it, and then like right when I was about to start collecting it, because I bought all of Yu Yu Hakusho, they dropped the 3-in-1s announcement, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna wait a couple years till the 3-in-1s are out. Like I'm not gonna buy everything, and then they release a better version that are bigger and like a little while. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like yeah. I mean,
but,
I have
but
also shorter series like Drifting Classroom. There's like only 3 parts, or else
that I'm all
another.
right with. Like if it's something like that and they just want to condense it into like one big book,
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. But if they're doing like, oh man, I don't know. Like I'm still gonna read it. I'm not saying I won't buy them, but they're definitely, I kind of have mixed feelings on them, I guess.
Yeah. Or the new Mushishi volumes. I mean, I have to have them because how else am I gonna buy the series? Pay €900 for like 10 volumes with no color pages? Nah, no thanks. Not that stupid. Some people
Yeah,
have
so
that. That's
so
stupid.
Mars, do you find
Mhm.
yourself double dipping in a lot of these things? Like buying, like you have the tree individually, and then you want to buy the 3-in-1.
I mean, like with Blame, I bought them multiple times because Blame. And then you have like CUs like Mushishi. I started out with those, buying those when they're still kind of cheap, so still I could buy them. But like the price is jacked up so much, so I
I
stopped with
think I
that.
think it's one of the only reasons I don't ever find myself buying some of these like for the reprints. They always jack up the prices when they do a reprint. Like
Yeah,
that's another reason too. Is like I don't think just because there's like 3 volumes in there, it's suddenly worth like 3 or 4 times more. Like you know what I mean? Like personally.
yeah. Or it's like never been printed before. Yeah, like YKK for instance. So I'll
Yeah,
buy those, but
that
I
makes more
couldn't buy
sense.
them
Yeah.
again because they're like dark
So like,
undertone. They fucked them up, so gotta rebuy
is,
that. Or I don't know. They should be doing it with Doro because Doro has a lot of black and white pages for the color pages. Like the first couple of volumes, like 1 through 4, something like that, has color pages, and then the rest is just all black and white. Well, it's supposed to be color, so reprint those with color pages. Like you got the money, you can do it. It's got so much money, so like, why go the cheaper route? I don't know. Like it seems stupid in my opinion. Like maybe back in the day when you were a small company like Del Rey or something like that. Well, Del Rey was also pretty big until they went under, but I don't know. Some of
I
the
think
but
stuff
that's
is just
are,
super stupid.
I think that's
are
my
there
issue
any
with
series
the.
that? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just say I think it's my issue with a lot of companies. They still treat anime like it's a small thing, like it's not making them billions of dollars and millions of dollars. Like they'd be like, yeah, we can't afford to print this color, but this is also $30 per thing. It's like you can definitely afford to print that in color. Then I don't want to hear you can't.
Yeah.
Right, and when you think about all the stuff that is printed, think about all the flyers that's stuffed in your mailbox in full color and glossy, right? And you're telling me that, and those are things that are not making you put some money directly. You're telling me this book that is already sold at a profit, right? Um, cannot be printed in color because it would drive the price up.
I
And so wait,
mean,
do you have any series where some of them are in this kind of compilation and some are single?
well, yeah, with Helsing, that's also the singles have been really reprinted after the big editions came out, so you can just get them cheaper. as singles, for instance. They haven't done it though with Trigon, which is also released in like the big volumes. Berserk was always in a single, so that
I
doesn't
was
matter.
I was honestly really disappointed that they chose to release Lone Wolf and Cub in the big volumes again. Like I get why, but now they're gonna be like Berserk giant volumes, and like I really want to own that series, but I kind of don't want to have that on my shelf either. Just too much space.
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
I mean,
like
I wouldn't
those
really
big
choose it. They would probably
formats,
do planets.
especially
Yeah.
when they are the only option. I guess it's fine
Like
for the people who likes them and they want.
that's what I
them,
say.
but-
Like I like them sometimes, and like if like I'm not gonna lie to you, if like Blame was released with another one like that, I'd probably get it. But like I think they're only work if they're like your favorite series. Like if releasing only like only like Blade of the Immortal in that type of format, or this and that, like only in that type of format, and then just like having people like want to buy, like I don't really kind of want to own those because it just takes up way too much space. Like even though I do want to own those series.
It's sad for Berserk, for instance.
That too, yeah. Like I love Berserk, but it's just it's overwhelming owning that many copies, and it's so heavy too, and you can't do anything with it. Like
Yeah, you can't read it in bed. You just really have to read it in the table. Yeah, some people read it in bed, but I'm
yeah,
like,
I know. I think that's my issue with those books is like I literally have to like clear off the table to like read them and like sit them down somewhere and like
it's
sit down
more
somewhere and yeah.
big format, but like everything was originally printed that way, so easy to make a lot of big prints of like every series. But then nobody would buy them because overpriced and don't have the room for them. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. But like Mushishi, they did the right, I think, size for them, not the oversized thing, so you can still read them over everywhere.
I think that's my issue is like I would like something a little bigger than like the traditional American single volume, but I also don't want something that's like Berserk deluxe size every time. I just want something that's like in that middle ground. You know what I mean? Like a good solid hardback book size where I can flip it open and read it. Honestly, I don't know if you guys have seen what the Vinland Saga editions look like here. The original ones, not the dumb reprints they did. The original ones are like the perfect book size. Like I would not change a thing about them. They're hardback too, so you could like flip to them. Yeah, they were nice. I loved them.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of physical books at all. No, I just say I don't have a lot of physical books at all. But I mean, I don't know if like you guys say you have like the huge ones that are not readable in bed. Like you ever had like the digital one for that?
I mean,
So like you have a digital version.
Streaming sites to read some stuff that you just don't want to buy or just not don't.
I own some stuff on like the Google app because manga goes on sale all the time there for pretty decent prices, and it's good experience. I will say that. Like it's not like the Google Reading app is bad. It's just like you have to pay for everything, and like sometimes they be trying to rake you over the coils a little bit for some of that stuff. Like it's not as expensive as buying physical, obviously, but even then, like sometimes the prices are outrageous. Like you're not going to convince me that $20 is worth this one volume. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Right, and then
I understand it's a deluxe edition, but I'm not getting it physically, so I'm not paying $20 for it. Like,
hold on. What makes it a deluxe edition if it's digital?
So I think they include extra art in a lot of those. They usually include extra art, like the info, this and that. Like usually, and since like the deluxe editions usually have rescanned art too, it usually have like higher quality than like the original versions too.
All right, so I mean, you can really see how the nickel and diamond people here because it doesn't cost them any more on their servers to provide this to you, right? And they can easily swap out the higher quality art in the original one that they had if they were being cool about it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, let's say you had bought the original one. Here's this higher resolution version, which is no cost to us to provide to you. Right? No, we're gonna sell you this thing again digitally. You see? I mean, like,
how to make money now to get it cheaper to people that don't have the space for them or don't have the money to them. So digital is the way to do it. And
well, I mean, but you see, surely you see how people keep on getting closer to piracy. It's like, let's don't even
Yeah. If like the traditional services are just shit, or just throwing shit off, or just replacing like subbing systems or translations, or just getting AI, or etc. 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 Then people want to have a better quality stuff. But I'm like, then again, the piracy stuff comes from the companies, and then you get the same shit on there. So
Well, it's funny because I think one of the reasons piracy feels like it's in such a boom is because the access to stuff has gotten so crap within like the last year and a half in particular. Like, there's just been so much shuffling of like places and conglomerates, like just combining that like it's not even clear who owns the rights to half of the things, anyways. And like really popular series are just being removed left and right. So I think a lot of people are feeling frustrated when they like try to go look up their favorite anime or their favorite TV show. And suddenly where it's been for the past 5 years is just no longer existent.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's the
same. Also, don't have that problem really.
It's the same thing with Netflix, right? Like Netflix used to be the one-stop shop, right?
It's like sometimes, years ago though. I'm like, I don't know. Back to manga. I'm like, you have also volumes that are like normal size, and then they get hardcover if they get reprinted. Like Noise, for instance, that got reprinted, but then with hardcover in the same size as original. I'm like, why don't I go to big editions like what Germany did, or like fucking Italy, or
the Noise reprint was very bizarre. It's just a bizarre reprint.
It's just stupid.
It's weird too because it looks like nothing else that it's been released of his, and so it doesn't fit like anywhere else in the collection with him. It's kind of annoying actually.
Yeah.
You mean physically it doesn't fit with anything else? Is that what?
Yeah. Well, it's the same size as a normal volume, like as a normal volume manga, but then hardcover. Just they want to make it. Oh no, it's hard, but it needs to be something special.
Well, so it's actually I don't know about you guys, but it's a little shorter than his Tower Dungeon volumes here.
Yeah, Tower Dungeon is a bit bigger. Yeah.
So it's shorter than his Tower Dungeon volumes, and also it's thicker, but it's also hardback. So it's just awkward. Like it doesn't look good on the shelf next to his other stuff because everything else will be paperback. Yeah.
Thanks to war.
What did they do this? Did they do this just to annoy you guys, or?
I don't know. I think they did it because the first Noise reprint or the first Noise print here was super expensive and it was in paperback, and I don't even know if it had the color in the inside. And I remember a lot of people not being happy with it. So I remember they kind of like released this one as like, oh, look at us, we released a new version of it. Isn't this nice? But I don't know. It's all right.
They just had to release it like the Master Editions or something. That would make more sense. I mean, I have Noise in German hardcover.
Yeah, no.
The cover, but the back is still the original cover. So I don't know.
The master, whatever the
fans, that would probably look a bit better.
The master edition of Noise looks really cool. The only thing is I think the cover's kind of boring. I think the cover's kind of boring. It's just kind of generic looking, which is kind of weird for a Nihei series. The cover for not the original cover for Noise, the German one.
Oh yeah, but that's just a random page that they took.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not the original cover for Noise. The original cover for Noise is very good. I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. Like they took a random page.
Yeah. That's what I said. I just find it to be so boring whenever I look at it. It's just a random page.
Did it with like Drifting Classroom, like the cover is just random pages. I'm like, why didn't you pick like the chapter pages for like everything?
That's what kind of made me like question it a little bit. Is like. That Noise has some of the coolest chapter covers ever. Like, why don't they just use one of those? Like, if they really want to do it,
just use those. It's so easy to do it.
No,
we need to do something else. Man.
Could it be that they're trying to penny pinch on the covers too? So, like, we don't want color, we want it in black and white. You know, we want a simpler thing that will literally take.
Page, if it was black and white, you could pick any page that's got.
No, you see that page has too much black in it. We want one with more white in it, right? So that we have to use less ink.
I don't know. That sounds nitpicking for no reason. They don't make that much more money if it's just black or just white.
But but listen,
that was also.
It's funny too because I think the page they chose actually probably has more black than a lot of the cover pages did. That's what I mean. So
yeah.
Because like the cover pages in Noise are honestly pretty bright for the most part. Like. outside of one of the like final pages because like whatever corpse runs wild and the other one shows her like on top of a wall. Like one
But
shows
they
her,
are in
like,
color, right? Or not?
No,
Are they
they're
in
not
color?
No.
No, if German one and other ones are just all black or white, just random pages basically that they used for I don't know. It's like with Biomech, they just reuse it. They made a new cover for it. No reason to it. They could just use the original. But
You know, I wouldn't be surprised though if Kodansha owned the original rights though for or whoever when they switched over. Like, I wonder if he didn't own the rights for those covers anymore. Because when he first did the original Biomega and Kodansha, remember it had a different cover, and then he switched to Ultra Jump, and then it had a completely different cover for the other ones. You know what I mean? And then now that he switched again back to Kodansha, it has different covers. So I personally think that he probably wouldn't have changed the cover for that series because I think he said something about he didn't want to, but I think it was probably more like he had to, like rights wise.
But
so, I mean,
at this point we're like over 2 hours, so.
No,
yeah.
Probably should.
As usual.
Or else we're like 3 hours in. And it's like kind of excessive.
Soon it will be 24 hours. You know, we'll have a 24-hour stream.
Yeah, for somebody to want to watch it. But anyway, well, that was episode 69, and we'll see you in like 2 weeks or whenever with whoever.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Later.
Bye bye.